Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Hi, how are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. So, today it's going to be a long live, about 4 hours. It's about to be a 4 hour live. So, if you are not prepared for 4 hours, then just go ahead on and leave. Matter of fact, just turn me down low and then just go on about your business, right? Ignore the dogs in the background because, dogs are doing what they do, you know. But what I will say is I appreciate you clicking on the video. If this is your first time, welcome. It's a friendly space. If this is not your first time, then, welcome back. How you doing? How you doing? Hey. Yeah. Good old time. So I would like to start by saying I have just various topics that I want to share, right? Because it is 4 hours, and so I kind of wanted to fill it. And then I've been kind of dealing with this whole the Streamlabs, and it went out, and the lady just sent me an email letting me know to do this and to do that and to do this and do that. But I already had everything already set up with my slides and everything, so I didn't want to ruin that and then have to do it all over. And I would have did it all over again, but it wouldn't have been today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today for sure. It wasn't going to happen. So I said, well, I'm going to just do my 4 hours, and then once I finish with the 4 hours, I'll go ahead on, change it up, do the add, the subtraction, and see how I multiply. You get what I mean? So let's see what we are going to talk. So there's a lot of things going on, right? So we got, I wanted to do a separate video just focusing on like the different weight losses and transitions over 2025. But seeing how I have to do this 4 hour live, I just incorporated it all together. So it's just gonna be the weight loss plus the LSU tragedy, Pooh Shiesty. It's just a couple things going on. So, without further ado, let me pull up my slide while I pull that down. Hey, Oprah. Whoopi. Whoopi look nice. I don't know why people always be saying she looks horrible or old or ugly or whatever. Like, what are you looking at? So let's see how we are going to take this time. Now, mind you, I probably will have to get off eventually because I'm going to have to go and let my dogs out. Well, not get off, but, we'll go on like a little break. We'll have a little break. So, I first would like to start off with, where do I want to go first? Let's start off with Kamala Harris. Yes. I want to go to Kamala first. So Kamala, Miss Harris, she has a book tour that she's doing right now. And so there are some concerns from fans that are saying that the former VP, she seemed a little inebriated during one of her public talks. Now, the vice president, of course, she's back in the public eye. This time it's not about campaigning, but she's on the nationwide book tour promoting her new memoir, right, which dives deep into her failed 2024 presidential bid and how, in her own words, she misread the moment that led to, Obama returning back to the White House. So there's a clip that's going around, and in the clip, they're suggesting that Miss Harris, she seemed a little tipsy, slurring, and overly giddy doing multiple stops on her tour. What's wrong if the lady got a couple cocktails before she got on stage? sometimes people need a little cocktail or two just to kind of loosen up. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never presented in front of 500,000 people, so I can't tell you how they would feel. However, if you told me I had to present in front of 500,000 people, I would get a drink before I got up there. I would. I'm not even gonna tell you no story. I would. I'm like, let me get a little vodka cranberry, light on the cranberry. Give me one little shot, go in the back, shake it off, maybe run in place for about a second or two. Then I'm ready to get out there on that stage. Now, Kamala sound like she just came from happy hour, what one person joked about, while another posted a video caption, sis is giving drunk auntie at the cookout vibes again. The comparisons are nothing new. During the height of the 2024 election, the term drunk auntie Kamala trend online after a series of campaign appearances in which she laughed uncontrollably and struggled to stay on message. At the time, her team dismissed the rumors, calling them sexist and baseless attacks rooted in online disinformation. In her new memoir, Harris repeatedly takes accountability for campaign mistakes, admitting that her team struggled to find a consistent message, that internal division slowed progress, and that her own cautiousness sometimes came off as aloofness. She should have got rid of them people. Like, if y'all can't if you can't even get your campaign team together, how you gonna get the world together? You get what I mean? These are people that's closest to you. You should have been able to get rid of them. So if you soft with them, okay. So she also touches on the difficulties of running against a political juggernaut like Trump, writing that she underestimated his hold on working class voters and overestimated Americans' appetite for the return of normalcy. But while the book aims to rebuild her image and legacy, the social media frenzy surrounding her demeanor threatens to overshadow her message. Many of Harris' supporters have rushed to her defense, arguing that the drunk claims are yet another sexist attempt to undermine a powerful black woman in politics. They say she was too tough. Then they say she's too soft. Now they're saying she's too tipsy. I mean, when will they just let Kamala be a human? Still others say the optics matter, especially for someone still viewed as a potential future candidate. If you're trying to rebuild your brand, you can't give the internet ammo. This is what one Democratic strategist told. So let's see here. So we have some audio. So let me see if y'all can hear this. Okay. Play, DJ.
To have some level of concern and care, it's not just basic fucking curiosity.
All right, she wasn't giving drunk auntie in there, but she was cussing. Whether it's nerves, fatigue, or just a laid-back speaking type, right? Harris' book tour has reignited the same kind of vulnerable scrutiny that plagued her campaign. Her memoir finally may answer some questions about what really happened, and what went wrong during that political, I don't know what you call it. Was it like a teardown, a destruction? It was horrible. They wanted that lady left, right, all the way. I mean, they didn't even want the lady to say she was black. And the lady, if she just was in a line and you didn't know her name, people would say she's black. We got different shades of black, but she's black. And then I think people don't really understand the difference between a black American, an African American, an African American, I just repeated that, but a Caribbean American, a dark-skinned Indian. Like, there are black Indians, there are white Indians, there are black Asians, there are white Asians. They're not black in the concept of Africans or however you want to define black. Like, if black is just Africa and America, like, they have different. I just don't understand how people just don't, like, they have Indians that are darker than I am. They're not black. We talking about color or nationality? Ethnicity. We talking about the ethnic part of it, or we talking? I ain't got time. Anyway, So whether it's nerves or whatever, y'all need to let that lady live. But we will say this: that drunk auntie rumor, they ain't going nowhere. But she be looking like she just left out of a bar. What's wrong with looking like you just left out of a bar? I know plenty of people that look like they just left out of a bar. I know people who need to look like they going into a bar or something because they just be a mess. But I don't know. I mean, would she have been a good president? That's debatable. That is debatable. That is debatable. Would she have been better than what we're going through now? That is also debatable. Who knows? What do you think? You think America regrets their vote? You think people are happy with their vote? I seen okay, real quick. Now we ain't going nowhere, so you gotta put your shoes on. Well, you know what? Throw your slippers on. I seen some video. I saw some videos online, and when I tell you, you have people saying that they want everything to burn down, and I'm not talking about rich people. I'm talking about like poor people who really want everything to burn down. And my thing is, what makes you think that you're gonna be part of the rebuild? You get what I'm saying? Like, they're already gonna have the people that they want to pick in a sense, right? Let's say they fired everybody, all jobs, nobody working. They already know who they want to pull up because that's why we have DEI and civil rights because all that is before then. They already know who they want to help. So all these people who benefited off of DEI, which predominantly was white women, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, if they wanted you to be included in the club, you wouldn't have to have fought for your rights as a woman. So I don't get it, And then they're trying to pull back all these rights as women anyway. So what is the big? What are we going for here? When they had the option to give you rights, keyword option to give all those keywords now, they chose not to. You had to fight. And now you are literally telling these people, I don't want my rights no more. Take them. Take the rights. I don't want them. I don't want the freedom. I don't want the. I don't want the will to choose anything. I just want to be a good girl that sit in the house and you do everything and have fun. Interesting. Moving on to look at the segue. I was talking about women being stuck in the house. Now, Pooh Shiesty done been released from federal prison. You got to love a girl who connect the dots. Thank you. So, rapper Pooh Shiesty, and if you don't know who that is, child, I don't know either. All I know is he's a rapper. I don't know any of his music. Don't get me the line. And I'm not old like that. Well, I'm 42. Listen, a fine 42. Yeah, don't play no games. Shoot, just because I'm getting up there don't mean I'm getting out there. I'm. All right now, don't get to stalking me though, because I do carry. I'm in Texas, baby. Open, we carry around here. Unconcealed. We don't care down here. So rapper Pooh Shiesty has been released from federal custody after completing roughly 3 years of a 5-year, 3 months prison sentence, his attorney Cohen confirmed. All right, so what they say now? So we get on down here, and let's see here. Pooh Shiesty is ready. This is what the attorney wrote on his Instagram yesterday. Wait until you see this come back. And he said it with a ghetto-ness. Huh? I don't know if I'm feeling insulted or you know what? I don't know how I feel about when these lawyers get these certain clients and then they try to catch on to their culture. It's like, are you trying to advertise? You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to be in the spotlight. Don't nobody want to sit in the background. Everybody want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I like having my privacy. I like being able to go places and not be recognized. Like, let me tell you something. I don't know too many people out here in Houston. But if I'm back at home, you always going to run into somebody. Out here, Man, I could go run to the store real quick, be looking however I want to. I ain't got to worry about nothing. You mess around and go run to the Family Dollar some back at home. You been around about 3 or 4 of your cousins. And then you know they're going to be looking at you talking crazy. Like, look at you, just look like you just rolled up out the bed, came to the store. And did. And did. I didn't know I was going to see you in here. That's why I got these shades on and mask on. How you knew who it was? I tell by the way you walk. Anyway, back to the lawyer. Well, we got 3 hours and some change to kill. We fine. So the lawyer say, wait until you see the comeback. He will be bigger than ever. I am always glad to see a client start to climb back up to the elite status. Always keep it 100. You hear this? You hear this man say, always keep it 100? And that, Your Honor, is why I would never hire that man as my lawyer. I'm going to need you to keep it very professional at all times. Like Young Thug lawyer walking around with YSL gang. Well, it was a cute little outfit. Never mind. You know. The lawyer added the government wanted 10. He got 3. What they freaking do? I didn't want anything. You give me 3 years. They wanted to give me 10 years. And I'm supposed to be happy? I always think there is a plan for people and his story isn't over. It just started. The rapper was reportedly released early on October 6th due to time serving good behavior. Pooh Shiesty, real name Lentrell Williams Jr., pled guilty to conspiring to possess firearms and furtherance of crimes of violence and drug trafficking in January of 2022. This is from the attorneys down at the South District of Florida. He accepted a plea deal that reduced his potential sentence. As part of that deal, let me see here, he admitted to participating in the conspiracy on 3 occasions detailed in court documents. He was a menace, absolute menace. The first took place in Memphis on July 7, 2020, when someone riding in a car with the rapper discharged a firearm at a gas station. Then on October the 9th, 2020, in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, Shiesty and his co-conspirators met with others to acquire about marijuana, codeine, and sneakers. I mean, if you're going to be fly getting high, might well, the meeting turned violent when a member of his group pulled out a weapon and assaulted 2 people. What, they went out there to rob him? On May 20th, 2021, Shiesty assaulted a victim with a firearm at a Miami strip club. And then in April 2022, Williams received a 63-month prison sentence and 3 years of supervised release. Child, see, I've been to Florida a couple times. Never got in no mess. You know what I mean? They say it's different down there in Florida. They could keep it. And I mean, they could really keep it. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. So now let's get to, now, I don't want to talk about that right now. We can get that out the way. So, let me see how much time I done been on here. I don't want to not do what I said I'm going to do. Let me see here. Oh, just 18 minutes? I feel like I done already went through half my stories. I guess this might not be a 4-hour live. We're just going to roll with it. All right. So now we are on to, do I want to talk about, okay, so let's just go to the judge. Okay, so a federal judge boldly blocks Donald Trump's National Guard move in Oregon as Illinois pushes back on Chicago deployment. Outrageous and un-American. So this happened, this was put out October the 6th. So a federal judge has temporarily halted Donald Trump's plan to deploy the Oregon National Guard to Portland, even as his administration moved to send 300 Guard troops to Chicago, Illinois. Clashes between the White House and Democratic governors who say the actions violate constitutional limitations on presidential power continue to deepen. Let's see here. So the U.S. District Judge Kyren Immergut issued a temporary restraining order Saturday, blocking the Oregon deployment for 14 days. The judge, who was appointed by Trump, ruled that his base is federalizing the Guard failed to meet the high bar required to do so without the governor's consent. In her decision, she said that the protests in Portland were not significantly violent or disruptive enough to justify military intervention. She also wrote in opposition to Trump's actions. She said, in quotes, these incidents are inexcusable, but they are nowhere near the type of incidents that cannot be handled by regular law enforcement. Her ruling cited the Constitution and the 10th Amendment, warning that Trump's attempt risks blurring the line between civil and military authority. This country has a long-standing and foundational tradition of resistance to government overreach. This is a nation of constitutional law, not martial law. About time somebody stand up. Jesus. It just seems like they just letting this man do whatever he wants. ABC News further reports that the decision paused the deployment of about 200 soldiers who had been training on Oregon's coast in anticipation of orders. The Trump administration plans to appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which previously overturned a similar ruling that sought to block troop deployments in L.A. Now, Trump defended his actions by arguing that war-raged Portland needed protection for immigration facilities and federal property. But the judge called the president's characterization simply untethered to the facts and called him a liar. And said he likely exceeded his constitutional authority. Her ruling concluded that Trump's actions appeared not to have been conceived in good faith. ABC News states the Oregon officials celebrated the decision. The governor said justice has been served and the truth has prevailed. The state attorney general, Rayfield, called the ruling a wake-up call. No president is allowed to make up facts or rely on social media trolls when deploying the U.S. military in our cities. Let's see here, because Trump authorized 300 National Guard troops for Chicago. Now, according to the Huffington Post, while the Oregon decision was unfolded, Trump announced plans to deploy 300 Illinois National Guard troops to Chicago to protect federal officers and assets following a Border Patrol shooting that left a woman injured. White House spokesperson Ms. Jackson said the president acted in response to ongoing violent riots and lawlessness that local leaders have not quelled. Now, the Post is reporting that the Democratic Illinois governor denounced the move as a manufactured performance, not a serious effort to protect public safety. He went on to say the Pentagon gave him an ultimatum: call up your troops or we will. Now, the governor then called the order outrageous and un-American, adding for Trump, this has never been about safety. This is about control. Let's see his press conference.
Building tradesmen near Tribune Tower, simply doing their jobs, were detained by federal agents while working on a construction site. Separately, 24 federal agents chased down a man, handcuffed him, and asked him for his papers. Meanwhile, ICE's chief offender, Gregory Bovino, has been leading the disruption and causing mayhem while he gleefully poses for photo ops and TikTok videos. Bovino even admitted on the record that they are making arrests based on how you look. They're not targeting violent criminals or gang members. They're arresting tamale vendors and delivery men and shaking down families. Donald Trump and Kristi Noem and Tom Homan said they were targeting the worst of the worst criminals. They lied, and they continue to lie. 60% of the individuals that ICE has taken in Illinois this year have no criminal convictions of any kind. ICE is running around the loop harassing people for not being white. Just a year ago, that was illegal in the United States. Now, ICE is making it commonplace. That's not making America great. In any other country, if federal agents fired upon journalists and protesters when unprovoked, what would we call it? If federal agents marched down busy streets, harassing civilians and demanding their papers, what would we say? I don't think we'd have any trouble calling it what it is: authoritarianism. So let's not pretend it's something else when it happens in our American cities. The MAGA Republican-supported invasion of Portland and Chicago and LA and Washington, D.C. is not making us any safer. Instead, it is putting our people in danger. This is an attack on neighborhoods, on lawful residents, on U.S. citizens. That's not preventing crime, as Donald Trump claims. That's threatening public safety.
Well, people, I don't know if the goal is about people's safety. If that was the case, then eggs would go down and prices would go down, and you get what I'm saying? They could work together to get all these prices and things to go down. I understand that's not the president's job to, it's certain things he can do, but it is part of his job to take care of his people is what I mean. But as far as with food prices and stuff, I know he can't necessarily go to a company and say, lower your prices. But if you really cared about the people, you would make it more affordable now. It just seemed like a big, you know what, this is going to be the best, this is going to be the greatest cape in history. People will talk about this for centuries if we still have a world, the way it's going. But this is going to be talked about for centuries. They're going to be talking about how America was once the greatest country and how it's whatever it's going to be after all this, because, everything that's happened in the last 6 months, it's going to take more than 6 years to get it back together. You get what I'm saying? It's been a lot of damage done. It's been a lot of lives lost. It's been a lot of chaos. It's been a lot of anxiety. It's just been a lot of lawlessness going on. It's a lot going on. And speaking of lawlessness, I'm going to have to tell you about, they found the 16th body in Houston. And them people talking about it ain't no serial killer. What these folks think talking about homeless people? Child, let me finish on with this. So ultimately, the tension between the state leaders and the former president underscores a recurring test of constitutional power, whether public safety should be safeguarded by collaborations or commanded through force. America awaits the outcome of these legal battles and their impact on the balance between state rights and federal authority in further crises. Now, in regard to political ops, how do we continue the American dream while navigating unrest, leadership, and the limits of presidential control? Child, it's always something. It said it's always something. He said, Trump said Chicago could be training ground for troops. Anybody who agrees with that, you just not seeing the bigger picture. You know how they say you gotta be quicker than that. And some people, they think on a checkers level, and some people think on a chess level. And in my personal opinion, I believe some people who voted for him were only playing checkers, while other people were playing chess. And that's why they're feeling the blunt of it the worst, and they're complaining about their vote, because you were playing checkers. You know what I'm saying? And everybody who was playing chess, now we're all, still playing chess, and we're 2-3 steps ahead. But for those who were playing checkers, you would never catch up. You would never catch up. It's too late. You're too behind already. It's too late. Pull yourself by your bootstraps. So let's move on. I hope y'all having a wonderful day. I hope you guys are enjoying. I know we probably 12 minutes in. When you be looking at the clock, it don't never go nowhere. Okay, so we are officially, how long we been in here, child? Let me look. 30 minutes? All right, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay. So let me see here. So where do I want to go next? Let's go to, let me get this out the way because I've been holding on to this for a minute. And since I got this time to kill, I'm going to kill this time. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives premiere party. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I ain't losing my mind. But you could share, like, and subscribe. You could share, like, and subscribe. I ain't asking for no money. I ain't asking for no money at all. Not at all. Not at all. You will never hear me asking for money. I will never ask you guys for any money because I'm not on here asking for money. I am on here because I have a lot that I want to say, and this will be a good way to say it. And if I get at least 10 people to listen, I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, I do have a goal of 100,000. Now, it is what it is. I ain't stressing it. But I figured when it was what's your ideal of like followers or whatever? And I was like, well, I don't really look at it like followers, but people that's willing to listen and, give their thoughts and, we could exchange ideas because I feel like, just because I see something one way, that doesn't mean I don't want to see how you see it because you might see it in a different way that I might actually like and you might change my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to different ideas. So, yeah. So let me go ahead on. I get to wandering with y'all. Y'all be having me put my little shoes on and stuff. I have to walk down the road with you. So I just want to talk about the premiere that they had. Because I didn't read this article, but I did have it pulled off to the side because I was like, I did want to eventually read it. So the nation's capital was abuzz as the Housewives of Potomac celebrated their milestone 10th season at Vero, D.C. for a soiree that blended fierce fashion, fresh faces, and fearless flair ahead of the Bravo return on Sunday. And then I did do a recap on it, so go and take a look at it. It was a good episode. I mean, I liked it. I think that Stacey is going to be the punching bag so far. I mean, this is just the first episode. I'm not sure how many episodes in the season. They normally do 9 or 10. So, but I see that she got into 2 arguments on the first episode. And then I think I saw two, maybe 3 clips when they did the season preview, the season preview, and I think she was having 3 different arguments. So I think she gets it the whole season. I really do. That's a lot. All them girls ganging up on you, cause what they have 2, 4, 6. So it's 8 women, and so you got all these women ganging up on you, and they just kept saying her breath stank. And the other lady was just like, "Man, I smelled it too. I ain't want to say nothing." I'm just like, "Oh my God, her breath really do stink." It's different when people trying to Jones on you and they say your breath stink and your breath not really funky, but it might, you might have just finished eating something, but it's not like a regular thing. Then some new girl, some stranger, and then 2 people talking about it, and she like, "Girl, I smelled her breath when she walked over here." Like, God damn, child. So basically, this scene on the scene were the returning cherry blossom beauties. Okay, so you got Gizelle Bryant, Stacey Rush, that's Miss Funky Breath, Kyren Stewart, they call her K. I don't care for her with her fashion over dress on. Ooh, what kind of shoes was that? Okay. You have the newbie Tia Glover. I like her. Jazz Riddick. I'm trying to remember her. I didn't see her on the first. I didn't see her on the first episode, so she must appear later on. Also seen on the scene was newcomer Angel Mayes. She's a Pisces powerhouse married to the former NFL star who arrived ready to stir the pot. Let's see here. She stood strong this season despite the Real Housewives veterans trying to haze her. So that's gonna be interesting to see how she makes it. I like her. Let's see who else. Let me see what she said. She say, Pisces, either you like us or you don't. We're not everyone's cup of tea, which is okay with me. Acknowledging the intensity of joining a seasoned cast. Angel added, "I'm a strong woman. I'm that mother. So come for me if you want." Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I think I did see her raise her voice like one, but it was a quick, you know. Similar, Ashley Darby showed up defiant to the premiere with similar energy about her dating life. Let me tell you something. Ashley played the game and played the game well. Okay, you can say what you want, but they say Ashley cleared around 20 mil in that divorce. You say what you want. That man owned land in Africa. That man owned minerals. Okay, and if you don't know about minerals, you don't know about no money. Ashley says, in quote, "I am doing laps in that dating pool and I am having the absolute time of my life. There are so many different types of men out there and women because, I date women a little bit too. I'm meeting so many different personalities." She also joked that she could be someone's girlfriend or matriarch now considering her age. Now that I'm 37, I can date either in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s. I'm at this point where everybody is fair game. I can either be your girlfriend or your stepmom. I cannot. She still looks corny as hell though. So beyond romance, Ashley told fans that she leaned into her musical talent this season. Her what? Let me read that again. Beyond romance, she told fans that she leaned into her musical. Okay, that's what I thought. Musical talent this season, despite making headlines for a pitchy performance of Roberta Flack's "Killing Me Softly." Pitchy, pitchy.
Did they say pitchy? Whatever can I sing? That's not pitchy, babe. That's not pitchy at all. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know what they had going on with that, but that's not singing. So she said, in quote, "I'm just getting this confidence back that I didn't have." You had to. You got on national TV and sung Roberta Flack's "Killing Me Softly" as if you were Roberta Flack singing "Killing Me Softly," and you were not. You wasn't even close to Lauryn Hill. You probably sounded like what's the name? Pooh Shiesty? So she said she getting her nerves back. Okay, I'm gonna have hiccups here and there, but haters always gonna hate, and I'm gonna continue to prosper. Ma'am, ma'am, you gotta love confidence. You have to. You have to love confidence. You have to. Meanwhile, Dr. Wendy Osafo, radiated her signature swag and sophistication, calling on viewers to tune in. Now, let me tell you something. Now, Wendy is a girl who she upgrades every year, and it is fabulous. Okay? You can never, chef's kiss to Wendy. Every year she looks good. Now, don't catch her from the back. That back angle, that ain't it at all. That back view, nothing. I'm talking about it ain't. You can't even decide on what would look good to make her backside look better. Just let it alone. It's nothing. But front, mine is always looking better each year. I'm not sure if she's getting fillers or what, but I see the difference because you can see it's difference. It's difference. Or maybe listen. Whatever she's doing is working, and I'm not mad at her. If you got it to do it, do it. As you see those pictures going through, on the slides, you see the before and the after? Yeah, money helps, okay? I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care what anybody tell you. Having money helps you look better and feel better. Being broke, it is what it is. But having money, listen, money is not the root to evil. Evil people are the root to evil. Money is a piece of paper. Money is gold. Gold is money. Diamonds are money. Diamonds aren't evil. Gold isn't evil. Why is money evil? No, it's that spirit in that person that's evil. You get what I'm saying? It's that. They be pissing me. Money is evil. Give me your money then. If you don't want your money, give me your money. Because I'm not evil. And I ain't poor, but I'm not evil. You get what I'm saying? But you see them before and after pictures. Shoot. Y'all know how they look. Y'all see Chloe. You see Chloe before. You see Chloe after. Look at Oprah. You see Oprah? She had money. But Oprah was big. Oprah was big. Now Whoopi always, you know what? Whoopi always look good. Let me turn my little light on over here, child. It's getting a little dark in here. So my dog, just real quick. So my dog, I teach my dog tricks. I have an American Bully, and so I teach her tricks and stuff, right? And I sometimes be forgetting that she be knowing certain tricks, because, you know what I'm saying? So one day, I'm sitting, so I let her and my other dog out. And so I'm just laying on the couch, and I just totally forgot all about him, right? I'm thinking that, I ain't even think, I just totally forgot about him. So I hear my back door opening, it's creaking. And somebody come out. Now, I live alone. So you know how your heart kind of catches a flutter, because you like, what the hell? And then I hear the door close. You know how fast because I taught my dog how to close the door, right? Because I left the door, because I just went to let him outside. But I just totally forgot man, when I tell you, my heart racing now when I think about it. I'm talking about, it scared the mess out of me. I keep my pistol downstairs now because it's, I don't know where my gun is. Wait a minute now, I was nervous, child. Oh, Lord. Yeah, so anyway. So yeah, windy. Okay, so, I had to rest my nerves real quick. I'm telling you, when I tell you I had to laugh, I had to laugh at myself because all I heard was the door opening and then the door closing. And I just looked up anyway. So between Angel's audacity, Ashley's fearless flirtation, and Dr. Wendy's scholar shout out about out her fam, the Real Housewives premiere party delivered season 10 in a very magnificent way. And I looked at the pictures too. The girls look good. They did. The girls look good. And it's good to see that they look how they supposed to look. You see people in person. Like, I remember when Michelle had came, no, not K. Michelle, Keisha Cole, she had came down to Houston. She was going to be at a club that I don't live too far away from. And no, I'm not in the hood, but Houston, it is what it is, right? And so my brother and his girlfriend came down, and we drove over there. It's not that far, like 5 minutes. And Keisha Cole is just as pretty in person as she is on TV, how they be like filter. That lady, she looked the same. She just got a big, cute face. So it was cute. She was nice. So so I watched the first season of I've been watching Real Housewives of Potomac since they came out. So I like it. Go and catch it. And then I did a recap too. So, go and catch it if you're interested. Now, if you have watched it, then you remember Monique Samuels, who she got booted off the show because she felt like she needed to put her hands, feet, and paws on the chick. And it was funny as hell too. She grabbed that lady by her hair, and she held on. Child. And it's amazing how when people be instigating stuff, and then when some action happen, when some real life action happen, they just like, oh my God, how dare you? This is such shocking. How dare you? You're supposed to be better than that. No, I'm not. I mean, I am, but no, not really. I mean, listen, I don't believe in violence. I am not for violence at all. And Monique should have walked away. It was not a good look at all. I felt like she jumped on that girl when, to be honest, she jumped on the wrong one. If you're going to get physically violent or you're going to get physical with somebody, be physical with the right person. Don't pick and choose who you're going to be physical with. Oh, A is picking with you, but B is an easier target, but C ain't even looking in the direction, so I'm going to jump on C. That's some coward stuff right there. And that's kind of how I feel with that situation. Even though the girl that she did, touch on, she be into some stuff. But still in all, it just wasn't, it's like she took her anger out for other stuff at that moment on her when it should have been at Gizelle or Robin or I have to go back and watch that scene again. But I just remember that she jumped on Candace, and it really wasn't for Candace. That whooping could have went to a couple other females. It didn't have to necessarily go to Candace. But, I digress. So, Gizelle Bryant and Monique, they were not on good terms when, Monique left. But in 2020, the former First Lady said she was looking forward to reconnecting with Monique. Gizelle was married to Jamal Brown, who he dogged her, child. Dogged her. And that's what I liked about in the first episode. When Gizelle tried to jump into the argument between Ashley and the one with the bad breath. With the what is her name? I can't even think about it now. It just keep dragon breath just keep coming to my mind because the way that they was talking about the child. Stacy, that's her name, Stacy. I'm just keep the dragon breath. But when she said to Gizelle, when she said to the group, well, we've all been embarrassed by a man, and Gizelle said something, and she was like, oh, you haven't been embarrassed? And then Gizelle had, she went hit on and closed that door. She said, I don't want to walk into this because girl, you was a preacher's wife and got dragged horribly. 3 kids, under 2, by yourself. This man was a dog. And I'm not trying to drag her, but you got to sometimes pick your battles. You can't be talking about people when look, what they say, don't throw no rocks in no glass house now. Even though that is in the past, all she said was, all us women, we've been through it once with a man before. So you don't have the right to tell her, I guess you could have. Anyway. So Gizelle and Monique were not on good terms, like I said. So Ashley and her have been communicating throughout the years. Monique has been gone for about 5 seasons, and she's been through a lot. She's divorced now. She has moved, and she doesn't live in Potomac anymore. And Gizelle was saying that she don't know how many homes she has now, but it's not 4. So that was a little light shade because when Monique came on the show, and I think Gizelle actually asked her, well, how many homes do you own? She was like 4. Shut her mouth completely, okay? Because she was a real life actual housewife. The rest of these women are not married. They were just on the show. But Monique was actually a housewife, and her husband wanted her to be a housewife. And I liked Chris. I did. I liked Big Boy. That was his nickname. Oh, that was a nickname I gave him. Child, okay? But he was a nice guy. He seemed nice. He seemed sweet. He seemed attentive. He seemed like he wanted her. Like she was saying she felt stressed out. He said, baby, look, you have unlimited access to the money. Hire help if you need help. Whatever you need, I just don't want you to be stressed. And she still wasn't happy. So I just don't think that she was happy, just him. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not the right person for somebody, or if they're not the right person for you, it doesn't matter what they do or what you do. It's just not going to work out. You get what I'm saying? It's just not going to work out. It's always going to be something because they're just not into you like that. That is a good movie. He's Not Into You. It was a cute lit. It was a cute lit quirky movie, but she ended up with the dude anyway. But it was still cute though, right? So let's see here. So what else Gizelle said? So Gizelle said, I was actually happy to just connect with her and just see her where her head was at. Monique exit after season 5 following a brawl with castmate Candace Dillard Bassett. On an appearance on Behind the Velvet Rope with Danny Yufton podcast. I don't know who that is, and I don't know. Maybe if we meet, you can tell me how to pronounce it. Monique revealed she was banned from speaking about the hair pulling incident for a year. I was not even getting press opportunities. They tried to ban me from doing press. She said at the time it was just craziness. I was like the disrespect. I just felt like they were treating me less than a human. Why do you think that girl felt when you trying to yank her wig off on national televisions? You know what I'm saying? I'll own national televisions. And that girl had on some real, she must have had on some, what they call that good glue? Gorilla glue or something? Because Monique was pulling her hair and Candace was holding on to the wig with one hand and pushing her back with the other hand. But Monique had a good grip on her hair, like good grip. Like, you know she didn't do the wig herself because it was on really good and tight. Because, like, I don't wear wigs, but if I had the ability to, like, do that, where I could, like, just cut them and install and do all that myself, then I would probably switch up my wig maybe, like, every other day, maybe every 3 or 4 days, just depending, probably every week. Like I would say, like every Sunday, I redo my hair. You know, I might be blue this week, yellow next week, purple. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not really like my hair. It's wig hair. And then, you know, I might be short one day, long one day, you know, whatever fit the face, right? But my point of saying that is, if I was doing that, then I wouldn't use a lot of glue, or I wouldn't use real heavy glue, because I would want to be able to keep changing it out. But that glue she had on, I know she had to have a hairdresser do it. Because if she would have did it, she would have probably put maybe like 1 or 2 layers. For my wig girls, we know you would probably put like 1 or 2 layers. Just, you know, something to hold it, but not, you know, I ain't trying to keep this in here for 3-4 months. But whatever that was she had, it was real good. I wonder if I'm going to go and check her channel out and see if she ever acknowledged the type of glue she was using. Because I know people had to ask her about it. I would have, but whatever. So anyway, let me see if I want to put this, how long this is. Hold on. So I want to show a video about the bodies over in the lake. In the bayou, sorry. So hold on one second, because I thought this was the full clip, but this, okay, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. So they're saying that there is no serial killer in Houston. Hold on. Okay. So what I am going to do, so I am going to add this real quick so we can watch this versus me just letting you hear it, because I want you guys to see what I see. And so I'm going to do this and delete that and close this and then do this. All right, so we're going to move this here. All right, Chloe girl. Let's see here. Okay. So let me take this down to the video so that you guys can see it. This is the video. Okay.
Fox 26 late nights are sizzling, with shows guaranteed to spice up the night. Fox 26 late nights, weeknights beginning at 10:30.
John Whitmire and Houston Police Chief Noah Diaz just wrapped up a news conference updating the public on bodies recently found in Houston bayous.
Fox 26's Leslie Delaspore is live at HPD headquarters. Leslie, what did they have to say?
Yeah, Mayor Whitmire says enough is enough, and there is no evidence of a serial killer on the loose in Houston. The mayor also said that the 5 drownings are alarming, and 1 is even too many, but people need to give HPD time to investigate and update the cases. The mayor said there are over 2,500 miles of bayous in Houston, and sometimes when the homeless pass, they end up in the bayou. He also talked about how alcohol plays a role and how mental health plays a role. He said sometimes foul play also plays a role, but often not. He says he's working right now to get more homeless folks in shelters, and at the appropriate time, more information will come out on these cases. Now, Chief Noe Diaz says at this time there's no evidence to suggest that any of the 5 bodies found recently are connected. He said that the medical examiner's office will determine the cause of death, but rumors like the ones that have spread across social media recently stir fear and anxiety in our community. Now, a captain with HPD's homicide team says there is no typical pattern in gender or ages or races of the victims found over the last week. He also says that there are a lot of recent cases that they don't have any identification yet, and they're waiting on the autopsy, or they're working to notify next of kin. He also adds that just because the medical examiner's office is still pending their autopsy and they're waiting on autopsies doesn't mean the investigation stops, and HPD continues to work these cases. But take a listen to the message from Mayor Whitmire.
We do not have any evidence that there is a serial killer loose in Houston, Texas. Let me say that again. There is no evidence that there is a serial killer loose on the streets of Houston. If there was, you would hear it from me first. This is being held to make certain that everyone knows we operate in my administration and HPD in total transparency. What we know and can release to you, you will know as soon as anyone.
Now, again, the mayor and police chief also tell us that they're asking people to stop spreading false information on social media or in the public, and it's important to stick with the facts. Reporting from HPD headquarters, Leslie Dellis for Fox 26 News.
How y'all feel about that? I don't know how I feel about that. 16 bodies, and they just popping up at the bayou. And then, you know what? Just be safe out there. You know, it's a lot going on. And, you know, if it just happened to be a coinkydink, then this is a hell of a coinkydink. But he didn't even sound confident when he was saying that, to be honest with you. He made me feel like, see, look at that. I just make one little click noise and my dog's cut up. That's because they just not used to noise. I'm going to get one of those bull horns and just blow it. I ain't going to do that to them. I don't even want to make their nerves bad like that. And my dogs right here shaking every time they hear something. I ain't going to do it to them. Not going to do it to them. It would be funny, though. It would be funny. But I'm not going to do it to them. Now I got some bad, sad news. Go ahead on and grab your tissues, because this about to be a tearjerker. You got your tissues? Okay. So last of the 10 New Orleans escapees captured after nearly 5 months following a standoff with Atlanta police. This man made it all the way to Atlanta. What? Yeah, he did. All the way to Atlanta, right? So Derrick Groves, the last of 10 prisoners who had been on the run since escaping jail in New Orleans nearly 5 months ago, has been captured. He was at a residence in Atlanta. Groves, who had been on the run since May 16th after breaking out of the Orleans Justice Center in New Orleans with 9 other inmates, was captured in southwest Atlanta after a standoff with Atlanta Police Department and U.S. Marshals on Wednesday, Deputy U.S. Marshal Brian Ferris said. Ferris said a tip called in to Crime Stoppers Greater New Orleans, along with follow-up investigative work, ultimately led to Groves' arrest in Atlanta. Let's see here. It took almost 3 hours to locate him in the house. Gas had to be deployed into the house multiple times by the Atlanta Police Department SWAT team, and he was ultimately located hiding in a crawl space. New Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams said Groves' escape represented a serious breach of public safety and a historical failure of custodial security. Groves, who is 28, was convicted of murdering 2 men on Mardi Gras 2018. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. I didn't follow up with that. All I knew is they had 10 people that escaped. They in New Orleans are not, that's their business. He was one of the gunmen who opened fire with an AK-47 style assault rifle on what should have been a joyous Mardi Gras family gathering. Groves was found guilty of 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder, charges that carried a life sentence. Let's see. His capture brings long-awaited calm to victims, their families, the witnesses who testified, the assistant district attorneys who prosecuted him, and the people of New Orleans who were rightly concerned that a convicted violent offender had escaped so easily and evaded justice for so long. Yeah, 5 months. Oh, Lord. Pins and needles. Head on a swivel. You hear me? Head on a swivel. Imagine somebody you testified against. He might know all your personal business. Secondary, he out 5 months. I'm on a plane. He got what? He out. Call me when you got him back in custody. I'm gone. You hear me? I am gone. I need to work remotely for a few months. Or can we just go week by week? Because the marshals are after him. So if we just do it week by week, I give y'all an update. Matter of fact, we all gonna know at the same time. It's gonna be on the news. But right now, I can't come in. I can't. It ain't even about the traffic no more. I can't make it. So they said, we will pursue every available legal avenue to ensure that Derrick Groves answers for every crime he has committed and every consequence he has sought to avoid. Now, let's see here, how the dramatic escape unfolded. Okay, so just in case you don't know what happened down in New Orleans, let me give you a little runner-up. Let me give you a little roundabout on it, right? So just after midnight on May 16th, a corrections monitoring technician in New Orleans stepped away to get food. At the time, the Orleans Justice Center had been in lockdown since 10:30 p.m., as usual, with the inmates expected to be in their cells for the night. But in the technician's absence, several inmates began tampering with the door of cell Delta 1006. They pulled until it broke open and slipped into the handicapped cell, where they used electric hair trimmers with multiple clipper blades to help cut through the cell walls behind the toilet. A source with direct knowledge of the investigation told CNN. Now, they are believed to have placed the toilet back on the wall after the jailbreak to conceal the hole, according to the source. Before all 10 inmates fled the New Orleans jail and crossed the Louisiana interstate into the warm, muggy night, they left a message on the wall on their way out. Too easy, LOL. Really? that would have pissed me off if I was that would have pissed me off. The U.S. Marshals credit Wednesday's apprehension of Groves in Atlanta to a multi-agency law enforcement collaboration between the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, the New Orleans Police Department, the Louisiana State Department, Police Department, the Homeland Security Investigations, and the FBI of New Orleans. We're just very pleased this one is over. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Muriel said in a statement, Groves will face charges for his role in the escape, adding, I will ensure that he is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Ooh, that boy ain't about to see the light of day. That boy is not about to see the light of day. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You do the crime, you got to do the time. And just to imagine, like, I'm not sure if you've ever been to Mardi Gras before. And if you haven't, I would have suggested to go at least once. But right now, it's a lot of people especially because of the climate that we're in, it's not going to be the right time. But Mardi Gras has went down over the years. It just hasn't been the same. It's just, I don't know. You know how it's just no longer how it once was. Either the people have left, the culture has left, the culture has been taken over, so it's not as authentic, or it doesn't feel as authentic as it once was. And don't get me wrong, they still have, you know, the Black Indians that go out, they still do their routes and stuff. You still have those staple people, but it's always a lot of drama that go down. Sometimes too much inclusion can drown out the 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 origin of something, and a lot of times things could just be really just kind of washed down a little bit to where it's like it ain't no fun anymore. So a lot of people just stop going. A lot of locals don't even go, or they'll go to locations where they know it's not going to be like other people. Because New Orleans and Louisianians, in a sense, they know each other, and it's not even about color, race, or anything like that. It's just you just know people. You just know who's not from there, and you could just tell that this is not Creole or this is not Louisiana. You get what I'm saying? You have the white and Black Louisianians over here looking like, look at them coming over here ruining our good time. You get what I'm saying? It's not about race at all. It's about culture. It's the Louisiana culture, and I don't know. It's just it's everything is kind of just being fake. It's like people don't want you to be proud of who you are or what you are or where you came from, and it's like, what is wrong with that? It's like everyone wants to just mush into just one thing, and we are not just one thing. I like being different. Everybody should like being different. You know, who would want to be like a carbon copy or something? Don't you like when you meet somebody and they tell you something that's just different and new? Or, you get what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, wow, that's cool. You get what I'm saying? Well, if everybody's experiencing the same thing, isn't that kind of boring? Like, ugh. Like, okay, everybody has went to this. Like, anybody went anywhere else? Okay, let's have another story. So, going down to Louisiana, but this is only 30 seconds, so I think I can just let this, I don't know if you guys been paying attention, but they had this, well, let me let y'all hear the story real quick. Okay, so let me let this play. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I can't hear that. So let me see here, because normally I can hear it, but I can't hear it. So I'm just going to assume that it's not playing on your end. So let's see. I don't want to do the long version. Okay. What is this? What is this? So basically, hold on a second. Let me pull this up real quick. I wanted to pull the video of it. And let me see here. So, hold on. Let's see here. I can hear this.
Leave no sale behind with the
So I can hear this. So let me go ahead on, and I'm going to let you guys.
world's best converting checkout from Shopify.
Not...
Say goodbye to abandoned.
All right. So I'm letting the commercial play. Okay. All right. So, oh, wait a minute.
Of Louisiana State Police. You're about to view a critical incident briefing video that is intended to give the community a better understanding of the incident that occurred. The video is inclusive of evidence related to the incident.
Okay, so let me pull this up so that you can actually see it with me. So hold on one second. This is not going to take long because I am just going to update the last video that I had. And then, bam. Okay, so we are going to watch this video together. And that's called waiting music. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me get this down here. Thank you for your patience. Please share, like, and subscribe. You know, I ain't about to beg for no money. Please don't do that. Okay.
I'm Colonel Robert Hodges, Superintendent of Louisiana State Police. You're about to view a critical incident briefing video that is intended to give the community a better understanding of the incident that occurred. The video is inclusive of evidence related to the incident, which may include 911 calls, body-worn camera footage, and other relevant information. As this comprehensive investigation develops, our understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. The Department's ability to investigate these incidents relies on the impartial and transparent investigation.
Okay, so before I play this video, let me give you guys a little. Okay, so Louisiana State Police are doubling down on saying they believe that the former LSU football player Kyren Lacy was responsible for a fatal crash that happened in December 2024. Newly released video shows Lacy was 72 yards behind the vehicles that collided, promoting many to believe he could not have caused the crash. The new video, originally published by TV station KFOL and later released by Louisiana State Police, shows the former LSU football standout Lacy behind the vehicles that crashed in December 2024, not waving in front of them as was initially believed. The video paints a different picture than what investigators initially told the public about the wreck. Lacy's attorney, Matthew Orr, told KFOL there was no way Lacy could have been responsible for the crash that killed Herman Hall, who was 78. He was a veteran, right? So Orr pointed to a portion in the crash report attributing it to the DA's office, saying the evidence submitted in the crash report does not support that Lacy should have known that his actions were the cause of the crash that happened approximately 72 yards in front of him. However, in the video released Tuesday by Louisiana State Police, officials stood by their initial report saying our evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger into oncoming traffic triggered the chain of events involving the other drivers, ultimately resulting in a fatal crash. Lacy was booked into the Lafourche Parish Correctional Complex on January 12, 2025 on charges of hit-and-run driving with serious injury or death, reckless operation with accident, and neglect homicide records show. He was released on a $151,000 bond. Months later, in April 2025, Lacy died by an apparent suicide 2 days before a scheduled grand jury hearing related to the December 2024 crash. ESPN reports that on the day of his death, the 24-year-old got into an argument with a family member and reportedly fired a gun before leaving the scene. He reportedly led police on a car chase before shooting himself in his car. Lacy's lawyer was not immediately available for comment. He has maintained Lacy's innocence in the deadly crash from the very beginning. So that was a report. Now let me play the video.
Investigations, as well as considering the potential criminal responsibility of those involved.
On Tuesday, December 17, 2024, Louisiana State Police Troop C began investigating a fatal crash that occurred on LA 20 near Perez Lane and Chack Bay, located in Lafourche Parish. This investigative briefing has been prepared to provide clarification of the facts and an accurate depiction of the evidence in the moments leading up to the crash and the subsequent investigation. Due to differences in technology, the timestamps on the business surveillance footage may not align with the actual time data recorded by Louisiana State Police based on recorded radio communications. According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 52 seconds, A green Dodge Charger is seen traveling south in the opposing lane on LA 20 at a high rate of speed, passing 3 passenger vehicles and 1 loaded 18-wheeler in a designated no passing zone with a 40-mile-per-hour posted speed limit. As the green Dodge Charger returns to the southbound lane, aggressive braking and engine deceleration are immediately followed by a crash that can be heard on the surveillance footage. According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 54 seconds, a portion of the crash can be seen as it occurs. Moments before the crash, the gold pickup truck abruptly veers out of the northbound lane into a business, while the green Charger is approaching in the same lane. Immediately after the crash occurred, the green Charger was observed on surveillance video and by witnesses traveling through the crash scene and continues north on LA 20, failing to stop.
Now y'all did hear that. The vehicle kept, the green Charger approached the accident and kept going.
At the same time, all other vehicles remain at the scene to provide assistance. The briefing will now transition to the troopers' response and investigation. At 12 o'clock p.m., a 2-vehicle injury crash with road blockage was dispatched to Louisiana State Police Troop C via the 911 dispatch system. The responding trooper arrived on the scene at 12:07 p.m. and was immediately met by numerous witnesses who described a green Charger driving aggressively and causing the crash. The video has been edited for time purposes.
Region 2, be advised, we got total road blockage on LA 20.
If you get a chance, can you advise code of injury?
Civil.
It's a natural instinct to turn, and then she had no hit head on.
Hey,
did you see a green Charger flying that way? A green Charger that going that way?
There was a green Charger
That's a green Charger
caused all this.
SRT8, he caused all of it. He went to pass the cars way back there, sir.
The green Charger collided with these cars?
He went right between.
He went around that truck, okay?
He was passing up with her right now,
and she had no choice. She hits the pole. She gets this.
How are they injuries? What
she
are they?
got a broken ankle.
Them two are complaining of back injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was on the phone when
2 back injuries, 1 broken ankle?
Yeah.
I'm not, I just told him not to move. You know what I'm saying?
You said something about a green Charger. Who told you something about a green Charger?
I'm down 18 wheel right there, sir.
Okay, so you saw it?
I saw it.
What did you see happen?
He went to pass him. I say when he went to pass me cars back there. He was back there around around the curve. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hey, he come down. Right. When he come down, I got Mr. He had his brother that he was taken to the emergency room, to the hospital or something like that, chemo or something like that. But I got his number also to verify this, because he was a car that was in front of her. When that green Charger came, he went caused this whole big traffic, so everybody went to hitting brakes because the Charger, I thought he hit the gold truck head on. So he jammed on brakes. She was coming down, they was going that way. When I saw...
Which way was the Charger going? The Charger?
No, Charger going this way.
Charger's going this way, okay.
She was coming this way.
Okay.
They was going this way also. Mr. jammed on brakes. She went to dodge Mr. And that's when she came on.
I was watching. I was by the gas
station. On the left side. She come over and hit him.
What y'all think about that? Now that because see, now this is my first time. Now look, this is my first time hearing about this like that. This video just came out. No one has seen this. This video just came out. So, okay. Now this is a different, this now. Let's watch. Open mind, because we wondering what the hell going on.
Which 18 wheel were you driving?
The rebel. Right there.
So the Charger, I guess, passed you up?
The Charger beeline, it was cars behind me because I'm taking my time.
And the Charger passed it was passing all these cars in this
everybody.
lane? And so almost hit this one head on?
No, he almost hit this. It was a gold truck. I got his number right here. That's why I took his number and his name.
Almost hit the gold truck head on?
Yeah, that's his number and phone number and name.
So the gold truck, what did the gold truck do?
The gold truck in his area right here.
The gold truck slams on his brakes.
Slams on brakes to stop the Charger. The Charger swerves back in.
Okay.
And cut somebody else off, whoever was behind them.
Okay.
But then they slammed. The Charger. He swerved in front of them. They slammed on brakes, and by this time, Mr. he slips through, right?
Okay.
As he slips through, she's coming. She like to ram the back of the gold truck. That's what I'm saying.
She almost hit the back of Miss.
Yeah, Mr.
Was Miss truck hit?
No. He was missed.
Okay. So the truck, Mr. He slammed on it.
In other words, it was right up. The gold truck was right up there.
Right. Yeah. He slams on his brakes to avoid the Charger.
Yeah.
This car,
what? Cuts that car off, if I'm not mistaken.
So what does this car do? It just swerves out the way to avoid.
Avoid.
So
because I was watching it too.
She turned the wrong way. Yeah. Instead of going towards the post, she turned this way.
Okay, so she turned this way, and then this car was just coming.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. And then the Charger came around.
That's the number for the guy that was in the gold truck.
Okay.
Charger passed in between the mailbox and the car.
Stopped.
I took that because he was leaving, but
Okay.
And see what happened, the Charger.
If you don't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, I'm just begging. That's all.
Stop.
Is it green Charger?
Yeah. But then when he seen what happened, he almost hit me because he came right here and kept going.
He was the only one that that jumped out of the traffic. Everybody else turned around went the other way. He jumped out of traffic, eased through here, and went on down the road.
Okay. Okay. Look, I know it's hurting right now, but do you think you could just tell me briefly what happened, or do you remember?
I just know the truck was stopping on brakes. The other car was trying to pass the other car. I was trying to dodge by not hitting them.
Where is the ambulance at? The lady is on the ground and the ambulance ain't arrived yet. Well, let me tell you something. The way ambulance prices are these days, I probably would have just called me an Uber.
By coming around.
Okay. You remember how fast you were going?
The speed limit.
Yeah. Okay.
39.
Thank you.
While on.
Now that's a good answer. And I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not trying to make light of the situation. But for anybody who knows, that is always the answer. Do you know how fast you were going? The speed limit? Right under it.
On scene, the investigating trooper obtained written and recorded statements. The trooper also spoke with additional witnesses via phone and ultimately obtained written statements later in the investigation. After the crash, the passenger in the Kia Sorento died. As part of the continued investigation, the investigating trooper made contact with the driver of the gold truck at a later date to obtain an official written statement based on previous conversations. Troopers also received an additional witness statement describing the erratic driving behavior of the green Charger 10 minutes before the crash. Following the on-scene investigation, troopers identified the green Charger as a vehicle of interest and utilized 21 separate surveillance video cameras to capture the uninterrupted path of the green Charger from the crash scene to its Thibodeau business 11 miles away. Through the use of investigative tools, troopers were able to obtain the license plate number of the green Charger on December 19, 2024. On December 26, 2024, troopers determined that Kyren Lacy was the driver of the green Charger at the time of the crash. Just prior to the crash, Lacy was illegally in the opposing lane, passing southbound vehicles. The gold truck traveling north veered right to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger. As the gold truck veered right, the driver of the Kia Cadenza saw the approaching green Charger. In reaction, the Kia Cadenza driver swerved left into the southbound lane and impacted a northbound Kia Sorento. Through the investigation, troopers determined that the driver of the gold truck reacted appropriately to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger, which was approaching at a high rate of speed. In consideration of the high speed of the green Charger compared to the surrounding and opposing vehicles, the reaction time of the involved drivers was greatly diminished. Since the incident occurred, the Louisiana State Police never reported that the green Charger impacted any of the involved vehicles. However, all evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger in oncoming traffic triggered the chain of events involving the other drivers, ultimately resulting in the fatal crash. Additionally, troopers determined that less than 10 minutes after the crash occurred, evidence supports that Lacy's first outgoing phone call was to a Baton Rouge area personal injury and defense attorney. After consultation with the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office on January 2, 2025, an arrest warrant was signed on January 8, 2025 through the 17th Judicial Court for Kyren Lacy. In coordination with his attorney, Lacy was arrested on January 12, 2025 at the Lafourche Parish Correctional Center. The driver of the Kia Cadenza was initially issued a citation for following too close, which was later amended to driving left of center. This incident resulted in numerous injuries and loss of life. All involved victims deserve a thorough and complete investigation based on all available factual evidence. Additional investigative reports and videos can be utilized through the Trending Topics link on the GovQA platform.
Well, that's a different perspective to look at that because, you know, some people, they may say that he committed it, you know, due to his actions. He was at fault for the incident. He did commit the crime that they charging him for. And then some people, they disagree. Some people are saying that it was not his fault, that the other vehicle, you know, their action that was outside of him, you know, he didn't do anything. So, I mean, what do you think about that? To be honest, if I was on a jury, and that's how I think you have to look at it. Like, if I was on a jury, how would I look at it, right? And I would look at, you have to be open-minded about this, right? You can't be closed-minded and just be like, oh, well, because of this, and I'm just going to go with that. Like, no. If I would have went off of what I've seen as of late in social media, comments, and things of that nature, I would have just made an ass out of myself, because just going off of, that's why they say people are stupid, but a person is smart. Because when you get people in a group, they just kind of lose their mind, right? But when you actually talk to somebody or can get an understanding with somebody, they understand, right? And so I would say that he was the cause or the catalyst to that, you know, because I'm looking at it as, because I've driven on those 2-lane roads, right? And I've been in situations where I have seen cars passing on my side. You know, I'm going north, they're coming south. One lane going north, one lane going south. And, they're passing up vehicles and they're in the south lane going north, you know? And yeah, that can be scary if it's not at a safe enough distance. You get what I'm saying? Where, like, I'm seeing you passing cars because you're miles ahead of me. You get what I'm saying? But in certain areas, especially from just that video, it's like, we got a little ditch over here. It's construction going on. It's 18-wheelers. It's traffic, and you cutting in and out. And I know that the guy, is no longer here. And that is a very tough thing for his family to have to deal with. But it was also a guy who he lost his life to. And he served in Vietnam, and his life has to be respected as well. And, just based off that, then, if I was sitting on a jury, I would have to convict, because I am going to look at it as though you were the catalyst to that. You can't expect everybody to react the same way. And I might not have swerved left into traffic to avoid a car coming head on to me. But I wasn't driving, and that everybody's life situations are different. Like, I was in the military, and I had this sergeant major while I was deployed, and he used to always say, you got to have TOSA, 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 TOSA. And TOSA is total operational situational awareness, right? You need to know and be on your head on a swivel at all damn times. That's all I'm saying. But everyone isn't or had to have a life like that. You get what I'm saying? Some people didn't have to necessarily always have to have their head on a swivel, making sure that everything was okay, or been in situations at different periods in their life where they had to make sure that everything was safe and okay. So she might not have reacted the way that some people would have reacted. I know I wouldn't have went into the left lane into other ongoing traffic, because I've been in, like I said, I've been in situations to where my situational awareness would have, I would hope, and which has had its benefit over my lifetime, that you know what I'm saying? I've avoided that. But I can't speak for her. You know what I mean? I just can't speak for her. And she don't know the type of driver that is. What if, he was expecting, she don't know if she don't know if that man trying to, off himself with using a vehicle. She probably got a family. So it's a tough thing all the way around. But, you have to be a responsible driver. Would the accident have occurred if he was driving right? If he was not in a hurry? I think they mentioned that he was either on his way to the hospital or coming from the hospital or something like that. Or somebody was on their way. I don't know. Wait, matter of fact, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. All I'm saying is, just based off the video, jumping in and out of those lanes at that time of day, that much traffic, it wasn't the smartest thing to do. It wasn't the safest thing to do. And we see why. It was too much going on in one space to involve a young man with a fast car. It was just too much. So, it is what it is. It's a sad, sad situation. I hate that he did that to himself, though. Because life goes on. You only get one life, right? Well, if you believe in reincarnation, then you get, 7 lives? 17? Something. Don't it have a 7 in it? Child, don't get me to lying to you. But, for me, I do feel as, I have my own beliefs. I don't think that we just get stuck here. I do believe that, we leave our bodies and we travel, and, we might go to a different dimension and experience a different life. I don't know. I don't think that we remember. You know what? Like, I watch Sloan Bella. She be on YouTube. She's a psychic, and she does YouTube and stuff like that. And she's been around for a while. She was on Maury when not Maury. No, not who was she was on a couple shows. I remember Sylvia Brown when she was on Maury. Not Maury, Monte Williams. Monte Williams. But Sloan Bella, she's been around for a while because I've seen her on different shows. And she predicted the whole thing with Diddy, the Jay-Z and Beyonce. She do different readings. Like, she be on the stuff. Like, she be, like, I do believe her, right? I do believe in psychics. It's in the Bible. If you believe in the Bible, it's in the Bible. 3 wise men were told to go and find baby Jesus by prophets. Prophets are psychics. They can see the future. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just tomato, right? So anyway, she, where was I going with this? Psychic, Bella. You know what? Where was I going? I wasn't about to talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what? It probably wasn't about nothing. It'll come to me. Anyway, I was going somewhere with it. I was going, I was talking about death. Yeah. So I do believe that there are like dimensions and stuff. Like, and she was saying that she was talking about it on one of her episodes, and she was just talking about like how she how she teleports and things like that, and how she could disassociate in a sense where she could kind of pull from her body, and and I've seen and heard where people can pull themselves or step out of their body and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I do believe that when you pass, this is my belief. You can have, you can believe what you want, right? Don't prosecute me because I don't believe what you believe. Come on now. That's what makes it so interesting to meet people. Everybody thinks differently. But I do feel as though, like, if you pass, then you do go to, like, you go to different spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where you go in particular, right? I'm not the creator, but I do feel as though you do go somewhere because energy just transfers, right? So let's say your energy transfers to a tree, or your energy transfers to a gnat, or your energy transfers to another dimension, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I just know that the universe is way more than what I know because it's been here and it's going to be here. So it's infinite on what's going on out there. You know what I mean? So you have to, as open-minded as you can be, try to be, right? You never know, You know what I think I would love to do? Listen, okay, so I watched this video, or was it a picture? And I saw the picture, then I went to go look for a video. But this guy had created like this, a hole in the wall, and like he set it up so that it became like a living work of art, and it was bees. And you probably know what I'm talking about, right? So yeah, I would love to do that. And also I would love to have this similar, but with ants. So like one with bees and one with ants, and just see them, build their colonies, have their different tunnels that they use. Just see how they, they create their citizenship, their civilization, how they move around. I might even start a little fight. You know what I'm saying? Do like a little sweep, and then move in and put something bad there. And then when all the ants come, they start fighting them, create chaos. Ain't that an American? That is American trait. I ain't gonna create no chaos. But, just back to this story. So, I feel bad, because his, he had like promising career going on with the football from what I heard. And like once all that happened, that all just went down the drain. He lost, oh, excuse me, the sponsorships are going to go, the offers, or, he was supposed to get drafted and all this stuff, but none of that, all that just stopped. So I don't know, man. I mean, people, if you read the comments, people want to say it's race and all that. But if you just look at the video, this ain't got nothing to do with no race. And I hate that people always want to bring stuff back to race. Everything isn't always about race. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not. Some things are, a lot of things are, but not everything. And so we have to keep that in mind too before we just start jumping to conclusions like, oh, they just trying to prosecute him because he's a black guy. No. The video shows that he was driving pretty recklessly before the accident occurred. And this older lady, she panicked and the accident occurred. So we can't just start it as if she was just driving and then just went into the other lane. What happened before? It's a cause and effect. And we can't just look at the effect and not the cause. And I mean, that has no color. I mean, that is what it is. And people want to say, well, if it would have been a white guy, you know what? You can never win for losing. If every time something happened, we always got to go back to, well, if it would have been. Look, can we just stick to this right here, right now? Let's go case by case. Right now, this is what happened. Now, when the next one comes, then let's go from now. But it just be too much sometimes. It's just like, Jesus, we can never move 3 steps forward, 18 steps back. 2 steps forward, 20 more steps back. So, you know, we about to be in 1934 in about one more year. I don't know what you, listen, I don't know if y'all been listening to my other videos, but y'all better get y'all stuff together because these people acting crazy over here. And I ain't talking about nobody in particular, but I'm talking about somebody in particular. These people acting crazy. And, all right, people think it's a game. People think it's a game. So, now I want to talk about the different images that keep floating across y'all screen. So y'all see all these big people that love to eat. Well, big people love to eat, and I love to eat too. And let me tell you something. I ain't the smallest person in the world either, okay? I mean, I ain't the biggest either, but I ain't the smallest, okay? I remember when I could wear like a size 0. I'd be damned if I throw it. I wish I might try. I look too crackish. You know what I'm saying? I'm too grown to be looking like a size 0. I don't understand what the hoopla is. You be wanting to lift weight on. You get what I'm saying? So, for, you know, don't you want your man to hold you? Or if you're a man, don't you want your woman to be able to, you know? Well, it depends. I don't know. I guess it depends on the type of woman you like and what she like. I remember I went through like a big guy stage. Then went through a skinny guy stage. I never really went through a muscular stage. Because that just seemed like too much energy and work. You know what I'm saying? You might want to go to the gym. You're going to want to work out. Listen, I can't even say it. That just make my throat tremble. You want to work out. I was talking about my throat just trembled, just the thought of working out, child. And let me tell you something, I was in the military, so I worked out, you know, Monday through Friday. Sometimes we would go work out on the weekend, like, you know what I'm saying? So working out isn't like that big of a deal in a sense. But yeah, man, shoot. I always looked at men that worked like I said, I was in the Army, right? So I knew guys who worked out, like they used to just challenge each other doing push-ups. How many push-ups you could do? And they just fall down and get to pushing up and, you know, 200-300. I went with this one guy and he loved to do push-ups. And his, like, he maxed out on everything. His run, his push-ups, his sit-ups, always maxed out. Do you know how much pressure that was for me to, you know, some people, let me tell you something. I didn't give a damn. That's him. That is him. But it's too much damn pressure. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. I mean, we worked out for a little minute, but it wasn't nothing spectacular. He was a cool guy, so I can't take that away from him. He was a nice guy, but we just was on two different, you know, I'm young, he was young, but he was more, we were raised differently. And his mentality at that time, I wasn't necessarily raised to get married and settle down and all that. I would look at Kamala, looking crazy as hell. I was more raised on, you know, my mom was single. Well, she got married, but, you know, she was a single woman for a while. She married my brother's dad. And they, you know, they were together for like 20-something plus years or something like that. But I was raised in a way to like have your own, but make sure that who, you know, if you're dating or you're, you know, you get married or whatever, that they can support you and, you know, all that. Still have your own, because you know what I'm saying? You should always bring something to the table. But just make sure that, you know, whatever you have, he ain't depending on it. You get what I'm saying? And you ain't really, you know what I mean? You ain't really dependent on him. He ain't really dependent on you. But at the same time, if something happened, he is dependable. And vice versa. Something happened to him, you need to be able to be dependable. Because ain't nothing worse than imagine. Imagine you with somebody, put your shoes on, come walk with me real quick. Imagine you with somebody and you really messing with this person. Like you know, y'all loving each other, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all together. And then like something serious happened. Let me give y'all a story real quick. Cause I got the time. You know I gotta be here about 4 hours today. Cause I'm trying to get my views up and stuff. And I'm reading through like what they saying to help you get your views up, especially on Twitch, right? So child, I'm gonna be here. You can leave and come back if you want to. But I'll be here. Or at least put me on pause and come back. So Let me tell you this here. So, my cousin, damn, I think I done already told y'all too much already. Okay, should I tell y'all this? Because, see, right now, I don't really have nobody watching in a sense. I got a small little crowd. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all 3 people, right? But let's say that it gets somewhere, right? And then my family start listening to this. I don't want her to hear this. And you know what? What I do is, once I get to a certain amount, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete videos from like my first, I think I'm still in my first month now. So I'm going to delete videos from my first 2 months. So the first 2 months, I'm going to talk about people that I know and stuff, because they ain't going to be listening. Because I ain't told them, because I don't want them listening, because I might be telling stories like this, and then they all in my comments like, you bitch, you know what I'm saying? I don't have time for it. But I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all this story. Okay, well, I ain't going to tell y'all my story. I got somebody in here, they going to tell you their story. Come on over here.
All right, y'all listening? Hey, how y'all doing? I'm the producer. That's what I do. I produce. I did all that. Anyway, so I got this cousin, right? And so she was working over there at the state penitentiary. And so she had been there for a while, baby. I mean, I don't know, like 10, 15 years. She had been there for a minute. Because you know how in some areas, like, they have jobs that are, like, dedicated to that community. Like, you might have a small town in Arkansas, and they got a sugar mill and a wood chipping mill and a grocery store. Everybody, if you working, you are a plant. You either working at the plant, working at the mill, working at the hotel. You either work, you know what I'm saying? It's all, you get it, right? Okay. So, she been working up there at the prison for at least 10, 15 years. I want to say over 10, at least 15 years. I'm talking about she been there for a freaking while. So, when I find out, because my cousin called me, because you know how cousins be cousins, especially if they your real cousin, they gon' girl. So my cousin called me and she was like, you heard what happened to, oh, wait a minute, I almost said her name. Hell nah. Hell nah. So my cousin called and she was like, you heard what happened to such and such? And I was like, no, what happened? She alright? Because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love all my cousins. I do. I love all my cousins. Even the ones I can't stand. I love my cousins. And at the end of the day, if they really needed my help, and it's a good reason, and I mean real good, I mean I need to hear it, I need to settle with it, I need to understand, then I'm there for you, okay? So, she was like, she got fired from such and such from the prison. I was like, well, what the hell she did? Like, hell, ain't she up for retirement soon or something? Because she older than me, you know what I mean? And so she was like, girl, she was out there messing with one of those prison guards. I said, what? I'm talking about, I said, not prison guard, one of the inmates. I was like, wait, what? She messing with an inmate? At the jail? She was like, yeah. I said, I know you lying. No. And she got fired. I said, oh. Where's she at now? Because, that's going to be the next question. Because, you either got you a new job. Trump wasn't in the office, so it ain't like there wasn't no jobs out there. But you ain't, so what? Like, she got a new job. You know what I'm saying? So that was my main thing. Like, so what's on? I was like, where's she at? She back staying at her mama house. What you mean she back staying at her mama house? I thought she had an old man. Like, when her and old man living together? And he go to point to this story. He broke up with her ass. Got rid of the bitch. Now I know some of y'all saying, Well, I would have broke up with her too if she lost her job because she was having sex with an inmate. He didn't know that. He did not know that she had lost her job because of an inmate. She told him something different. He got rid of her ass because she ain't had no job. You hear me? And this came from, listen, I almost said something else. Hold on. Wait a minute. All of us say is 6 degrees of separation. It's a small world. The world ain't really that big when you think about it. It's really not. And when I tell you, yeah, she had been dating this guy, moved in, left her kids with her mother. Oh, wait a minute. I'm telling you. You know what? All right, that's enough of that business, because hell nah, I love my cousin. Hey, cuz, love you, Pooh. But yeah, so the point is, be careful out there. Just be careful. Be able to take care of yourself and have some money saved to the side, because, child, these mofos, people love you, but to a certain line, to a certain degree, to a certain point, if you get what I'm saying. Like, people will love you, but when it becomes, sometimes people, the benefit, sometimes if the weight, that benefit, that hardship outweigh that benefit, people be saying, well, go ahead on and wait until the hard times come. I ain't got time for that.
All right, that was yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting story right there. Very interesting. But I do agree. You have to just always make sure that if you always make sure you're good and they always make sure that they're good, then you have no choice but to make sure each other is good. Because when you're happy, you try to make sure people around you are happy, and vice versa. So if I'm happy and my partner is happy, like if I'm happy with myself and my partner is happy with themselves, then we're going to be happy together, because you're not about to rain on my parade and vice versa, right? And that's another thing too. Like when you are single and you are kind of like in your own zone, and you finding yourself, or once you find yourself and you're exploring and meeting people, it's very easy for you, even if you have discernment before you decide to, like if you were somebody who was like chronically in relationships or whatever, and you could go without being in relationships, but you just enjoy being in relationships, you just find yourself having a certain type of discernment. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Some kids that are like lonely kids, or like kids that are just, like one child, like lonely children, alone kids, or only kids. Yeah, only kids. Some of those have that great discernment where it's really hard to crack their shell, because they're so confident and comfortable within themselves that just a little, just the itsy bitsy type of destabilization in somebody, immediately blocked, right? That's kind of where I am. Like if I don't already know you, hell, even if I know you, if you give me the bother of it all, I'm blocking you, without hesitation. Because I keep my phone on a do not disturb anyway. Like now, I don't ever have to turn my ringer off, because I keep it on do not disturb, because I don't want to be disturbed. And it's nothing, I'm not being rude or anything like that, but if I can't respect my space, then how can I expect somebody else to? So if I don't want to be bothered at 2 o'clock and somebody calls me at 2 o'clock, am I going to get mad at them because I don't want to be bothered at 2 and they called me at 2? They didn't know I didn't want to be bothered. So I just don't have my ringer on. So even if you call at 2, if I see it at 4 or 5 or 6, I'll call you back. You get what I'm saying? But, and that's just personal. It's just a personal space that I enjoy. It's nothing, it's not rude towards anyone, but it's just a personal space that I enjoy. Sometimes I don't want to hear my phone ring. Sometimes it makes my nerves bad when my phone rings. Sometimes it put me in a bad mood when somebody want to bother me. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that they want to bother me, because it's never really a bother. Normally it's one of my cousins or something calling, or you know, it ain't like I have um, bill collectors or telemarketers and stuff calling. I got that robot thing, but sometimes, you know what's a big thing for me? Like, because I have insomnia sometimes. Well, I have insomnia, but sometimes I really just can't sleep. I might not be able to go to sleep till like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I don't want the phone to wake me up, especially if I just fell asleep at like 4 o'clock. And then because I'm an early bird and people know that I be up, you know, I get up at like 6 and they call me because, you know, but whatever. So anyway, now let's get to how long we been on here. I'm just talking. I ain't even looking at the time. I'm actually enjoying myself. Well, I knew I was going to enjoy myself anyway. This is pretty fun, though. I actually enjoy getting on here and talking and stuff. And they're in the interaction. Especially on TikTok. Ooh, Lord, them people crazy over there. But I enjoy it, though. I be windmilling in the comments. I kid you not. I swear to God, the people be over there like, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't know what to say about TikTok. Okay, so let me get over here to these people. I was trying to wait till it got back to Jazz Jennings, and then I kept rambling, and then it went around. So I want to get to Jazz Jennings, and so she's the first person. So now I have them in order, so we could just, you know, that's Chloe right there. But in June 2025, the I Am Jazz star, let me see, is she coming up? She ain't coming up yet. So when she come up, I'll say that's her right there. So the I Am Jazz star shared a few updates with fans on her Instagram. She walked across the stage at her Harvard graduation ceremony. Okay. Though she has one more semester to go. Okay. That's still she walked across. And she had a new look after losing 100 pounds. Okay, girl. Let me get my applause ready. That's cool. The selfies she shared were let me see here. Let me see. The selfies that she shared were accumulation of the work she had been putting in over the past 2 years, a weight loss journey she had shared updates on along the way. What she said in quote, "No matter my weight, I have always felt beautiful. However, losing this weight and prioritizing my health has created a shift within." Okay, sister girl, I love it. That's cute. I love it. So let's see when Jazz is coming up. I might have to go and delete some of these pictures off here, because let me tell you, when I had Camilla. I had okay, so this is Jazz right here. Y'all see Jazz? That's Jazz right there. I know what I can do. So if I stop the slide, then when I bring it up, I think it's just going to, oh, no, it didn't do it. Hold on. Let me see. Is it on random? No, it's not on random. Okay, well, anyway. So that was Jazz. Then we have Chrissy Metz. Now, y'all know her because she's from that show, This Is Us. They used to come on. So the This Is Us star stepped out at the Variety Power of Women event in May 2025, showing off the results of a nearly 400-pound weight loss, a milestone she revealed to the Daily Mail a few months earlier. Now, did I put a picture of her up? I don't think did I put a picture of her up? Because I'm trying to see. Because I see the difference, but I guess because she's already, you know what? Let me move on. So Jelly Roll. So Jelly Roll started his weight loss journey in 2022 at 540 pounds. He was 540 pounds? Oh, Jelly Roll. By April 2025, he revealed he had lost nearly 200 pounds as of April 2025. Okay. And hope to lose another 100 pounds. He said, in quote, "For the non-furry people, the non-fluffy people in the world, I would give you all some educational courses here. to do all the fun stuff in life, you got to be under 250 pounds. So he said this while he was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He had stated that he had wanted to skydive, he had wanted to ride a roller coaster, and he had wanted to ride a bull. So, yeah, so he's done those things now. Let's see, what else did he say? He said, so how has he dropped the weight? Okay. Do listen. I've been thinking about ways to make it sound cool, but I can't. I'm eating a lot of protein and vegetables and walking. That's what I'm doing. He also trained for a 5K and started a Facebook group to encourage others to do the same. I want to be on the cover of Men's Health by March 2026, he said while on his wife Bonnie XO's podcast in 2024, noting that it was the first time he ever publicly shared that inspiration, or the aspiration. That's my new goal. I want to have one of the biggest transformations. Well, I hope nothing but the best. I really do. Sing your blues heart out. I really do. Then you have old Lizzo. Oh, yeah, I did put her on there. So you see the difference? She lost 100 pounds. So, yeah, I did put her on there. Yeah. And then there goes Jelly Roll. Y'all see Jelly? You see? And I could see him getting down, too. And there go Lizzo. Now, Lizzo, I don't know. Lizzo looked like she might have had something pulled out. Because it always have like this, I don't know, it's just something about when they go and get that lipo stuff done. It always leaves your skin a little wrinkly. Because it's just such a dramatic change. Your body isn't able to like just adapt to it just like that. So you have Lizzo, who started her weight release journey back in 2023. In an effort to improve her mental health over the years, the star has been vocal about loving her body at any size, and also intentional about making sure she doesn't use toxic language that might be harmful to her younger fans. And while she hasn't revealed the exact number of pounds she's dropped, the work she's been doing very slowly had led to a look that she's been happy to show off on social media. In January 2025, she said she had reached her goal weight. End quote, I did it. She wrote in caption on a photo, today when I stepped on my scale, I reached my weight release goal. I haven't seen this number since 2014. Let this be a reminder. You can do anything you put your mind to. Time for new goals. And she continues to keep it real on the topic. I'm not going to lie and say I love my body every day, the singer told the New York Times. The bottom line is the way you feel about your body changes every single day. There are some days I adore my body and other days when I don't feel completely positive. That's honest and true. Because sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. It is what it is, child. Now let's go on over here to Oprah, a.k.a. Harpo, a.k.a. Miss Sophia, a.k.a. Slap 'em. Yeah, I remember in The Color Purple when she slapped that lady down to the ground, asking her if she would come and be her maid. After publicly struggling with her weight over many years in the public eye, in 2024, Oprah said she had used weight loss medication and lifestyle adjustments to reach a weight she was happy with. Her health journey began after having knee surgery, which led her to making exercise and dietary changes. But she realized that medication could help her keep her yo-yoing as she had done in the past. I realize I've been blaming myself all these years for being overweight, and I have a predisposition that no amount of willpower is going to control. Obesity is a disease. It's not about willpower. It's about the brain. She went on to say, the fact that there's a medically approved prescription for managing weight and staying healthier in my lifetime feels like relief, like redemption, like a gift, and not something to hide behind and once again be ridiculed for. I'm absolutely done with the shaming from other people and particularly myself. Ma'am, it's your life. You do what you want. But I heard that Ozempic has some hellified side effects that have people in lawsuits like a mug right now. Didn't they say like their stomachs had like seizures or something, or crunched up like a hidden dragon or tiger, or wasn't it something that they were saying like they didn't poop for like weeks on end? They can only eat like a carrot and half of a grape. I mean, I don't, listen. This is how, I don't know, man. It's just maybe my mind, my mentality. Maybe it's my mentality. But when I had gained, okay, so I've never been on a plus size, right? And I have plus size women in my family. And I was always told, once I got to a certain age, it'll happen to me. So I was just, I was just going to go with the flow. If it happened, it happened. And that's really how I looked at it. Like, well, I mean, if it's in my genes and that's just what it is, then I guess that's just what it is, right? Right? So, okay. But when I first moved down to New Orleans, it seemed like everywhere I drove, something smelled delicious to eat. I kid you not. I could be going down Claiborne or going down the Earhart Expressway or Carrollton, and I'm talking about, I don't know if it's some chicken in the air or Popeyes is just right there, right down Carrollton and Earhart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain places that, like, when you just drive, it's just like all the food in the air, and you could like stop right here and grab you some chicken. And then while you got your chicken, you like smell like a po' boy sandwich in the air or something. And so you gonna go grab you a sandwich real quick. And before you know it, you got about 2 or 3 things in the car because you done stopped and grabbed you a daiquiri. And then while you at the daiquiri shop, they might have some oysters there. So you're going to grab you some oysters while you getting your daiquiri, right? Because, like, why wouldn't you eat some oysters, especially if they delicious and you done already ate that before? So now that don't even make no sense. You going to go in there and get a daiquiri, you ain't going to grab no oysters? So that right there don't make no sense. So I went down there probably weighing maybe 120-ish, 130. Because I've never really been over like 135. Like, from, adulthood and all that. And I got to, like 178-ish. I was almost at like 180, right? I wasn't prepared for all that. And I enjoyed the weight gain as I was gaining the weight. But it had got to a point, I think after 150, it just went on its own. I had lost control. I'm talking about, I was getting Spanx, and I had never bought Spanx before. I had never owned a pair of Spanx ever in my life. They used to call me washboard. My stomach was just so flat. You get what I'm saying? Like when my bestie and I went into the military, it wasn't too many sit-ups I needed to do before I had me a little 4-pack going on, because I was already slim, but I wasn't skinny. I was you know what I'm saying? A nice slim, like, what's up, slim? Yeah. But the point of what I'm saying is, when I got up to the point, I know the exact moment. You hear me? I know the exact moment I said, no more. No mas, no more. Ching-chang. Y'all know I'm learning Chinese, right? Okay. No more. Because, yes, I'm learning Chinese because I want to go over to China for about 9 months to a year. Hopefully we don't go to war. You know what? People always want to go during my time. You get what I'm saying? I go into the military, boom, 9/11 happened. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to China to work on my invention, boom. Now they want to go to World War III. What? Like, it's always, am I being selfish? I am. Okay. You know what? Let me get back to this, because I was about to tell y'all something that I didn't need to tell y'all. Okay. So we are moving on from Oprah. Now we're going to Whoopi Goldberg. Wow, Kamala looks like Kamala look like she done been through it. So that's Whoopi Goldberg, right? So while discussing the ABC special Winfrey produced about the topic of weight loss medication on The View, Whoopi Goldberg told the audience she had lost weight herself with the help of Mounjaro. I will tell you, I weighed almost 300 pounds when I made Till. I didn't see Till, said Goldberg of the 2022 film she acted in and produced. She added that she didn't realize the extent of her weight gain until one day I saw me and I thought, oh, that's a lot of me. She also urged compassion for anyone who has experienced weight gain or loss. Maybe the key is to stop judging everyone. My weight has come and gone and up and down, but it's never been an issue for me because I don't listen to what other people say about me. So it has never been a problem. Everyone has something to say, but no one says, how you doing? Because it involves so many other things. And that's true. So let me so I'll tell y'all what did it for me. So what did it for me was my cousin, one of my faves, she was having something at her house. I can't remember what it was, but it was some type of event. So I go to her house. You know, I'm looking as cute as I want to be for what it was for at the time, for the weather. I remember it was cold. That's how, I remember it was cold. And I had some Spanx on. Now, mind you, I don't think I had seen her for a little minute. Well, I might have seen her, but I might not have seen her husband for a little minute. So when he seen me, he was like, hey, cuz. He was like, dang, you done put on some weight. Now, that didn't bother me, right? Because I felt, because I had never been that big outside of, I had never been that big before. So it was something new. And then, I got all this little junk in my trunk because I already had a nice shape on me. But now I got this weight on me, and the weight is weighing where it needs to be at. It ain't like, it went to my stomach. Like, the weight went to where it was supposed to go. So I was perfectly fine with it. But I'm telling you, after a certain amount of pounds, it started being too much, So anyway, so I'm sitting there at the high table, and I think I just finished eating or whatever. I grabbed like a couple of snacks or whatnot, because I always go somewhere already full, so I'm not hungry when I get there. And so I think I just grabbed, a couple of things just to, just a snack, right? And I'm talking with her, because I think she was sitting down, or she might have been standing up, I can't remember, but we was talking. And then the husband had came over, and he was like, I can see his Spanx. And I was like, what? And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. And I was just, and he was like, you got Spanx on? And I was like, and I just looked at him, you know what I'm saying? And it was all in humor. I was not offended at all because actually he couldn't see my Spanx, But anyway, but the point of what I'm saying is that in that moment, I was not in that moment, but after when I reflected on it, I was like, dang, I'm really wearing Spanx. Like, somebody actually said I could have had Spanx on, and they wasn't even lying. Like, I really was like, dang, I done got, wait a minute now. And so I pulled back because I started to notice, like, it was more weight on me. You get what I'm saying? Like, me standing up, me moving around. I just started to notice. Because, like I said, I had wanted to put the weight on because, I always been small, so I wanted to put the little extra thump in the trunk. You know what I mean? But I had to overload that sucker. And so, yeah, I had to, I had to get it together. Yep, I had to pull it. I couldn't just be stopping at places no more. I really disciplined myself, and I really pulled myself back, and I dropped that weight. And so I've always maintained to stay under 150 because like 140-ish, like between 143, 147 is like my good weight to stay in. I'm comfortable there. I like it. It looks healthy on me. I'm not one burger away from something, and I'm not one meal away from something. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's no famine, but it ain't no goddamn gluttony either. You know what I mean? To me, it's a good balance. So yeah, and I like to in the morning. I do my hot water. I might put some honey. I normally do honey. I might do some lemon. Cut a lemon. Do half the lemon and squeeze it in there. Do my tea. Yeah, do my hot tea. My hot tea. Sometimes I do put a little the sopa. I put me one of those big bags in there. But I normally don't eat anything before 12 or maybe 1. It really just depends. I can normally go to maybe like 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the evening before I eat something. And then I don't eat after like 9 or 10 o'clock. But I'm not hungry. I have a well-balanced intake. But I'm not on like a standard morning, evening, nighttime type lunch situation. Because, I don't know. You tell me go left, I'm going right. Because why? Let's see, who else we got on here? Every time I look at this damn screen, Kamala, my drunk auntie keeps staring at me. So, let's see here. After Whoopi Goldberg, I saw, let's see, who else we got on? Okay, so I'm looking at the slideshow. So we got Jelly Roll. We talked about Jelly Roll. Oh, share, like, and subscribe. And listen, if you still here, please share, like, come on, click on in, join the crew. Okay, so now that's Lizzo. Okay, now who is this mean-looking lady that's giving us the look? Okay, so this is Remy Bader. Okay, so she has to clap back at critics who said her losing weight through bariatric surgery was taking the easy way out. So in quote, she said, "Don't let anyone tell you surgery is the easy way out. I worked hard to get here, and I'm forever proud of myself." So she wrote that on her Instagram on her post-op journey. The influencer who built her platform on embracing her curves opened up to self about her weight loss journey, telling the magazine, "I love being curvy my whole life. I just did. It was who I was. I will always believe that you could be a bigger size and be happy and healthy. I was for a while that wasn't a lie, but there was a point when it shifted and I became really unhappy." She later told the outlet, I was lost within my identity before. I wasn't big enough at first and plus size enough at first for the plus size community. Then I became too big for some brands even to work with. Now I'm too small. I actually don't know where I'm supposed to be." Girl, you're supposed to be happy. That's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be happy. Because you can't please everybody. If you pleasing everybody, then somebody ain't happy. You, right? Right. And if you ain't happy, can't nobody else be happy. And why would you want other people to be happy if you ain't happy? And I'm not saying like go make people miserable, but that's where it goes back to the whole point. If you're a happy person, then you're going to make other people happy. And it doesn't even have to be intentionally. You're just not going to make them sad. And if I don't make you sad, then I'm happy that I made you happy by not making you sad, if that makes sense to you. In my cookie world, it makes sense. If I don't disrupt your day, then I just made you happy. Because I could have pissed you off. Because some people just piss people off for no reason. Cutting them off on the highway. You know you should have got your butt over back there. But you didn't want to wait in line like everybody else to get off. So you want to go on up to the front and cut people off. Those type of people, them types of people, you're not happy. Because if you were happy inside, you would just go on and get on over. But no, you want to be an asshole and do all that. And sometimes I be that asshole. Oh, okay. Sometimes, not all the time. Because I'm a very safe and cautious driver. And then I got one of them cameras in my car, so... Listen, if I get into a wreck, trust and believe it's going to be your fault. And I'm not one of them intentional drivers. Let me tell y'all something real quick. Sidebar, put your shoes on. Hold on.
Hello? Hey, so I'm back. I got a quick story for y'all real quick. So, I know this lady, right? And she went on... Okay, I didn't even know this, and if you know this, you're a criminal. There's a database that tracks how many accidents an individual gets into, right? Like, they track to see how many times you're involved in an accident. I didn't know that. And I didn't know that because guess what? I don't get into accidents. I will avoid an accident. I haven't had to avoid too many accidents, but I will avoid an accident if need be. If you hit me or if I hit you, trust and believe there was no way around it. I couldn't go into a ditch. I'm not going to go into oncoming traffic. But if it's a ditch, I'm going to go into it. You get what I'm saying? If it's a way around it, it's a way around it. I will slam on my brakes. Whoever behind me, you shouldn't have been that close. Because I'm not going to be that close to the person in front of me. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, now this heifer. And when I say this heifer, she ain't no young woman. She old. She older than me. At least, let me see here. She got to be at least 20 years older than me. At least 20 years older than me. Anyway, she had went and got her like a little small... Let me not use that card. Okay. What's a good card to use? Let's say, you know a Yaris? No, a lot of people don't know what a Yaris is. My friend had one of these cars. That was it, like a Kia? A Kia? Okay, so picture like a Kia, because it was a small car, a little Ford or a small car, right? And when I tell you this lady had this car like a little bumper car, you know bumper cars. You done been to the fairgrounds and stuff, right? Well, you know how bumper cars is, right? When I tell you she had got into 4 different accidents in this one little old car, yeah, to the point where where another friend that I know. She told me that she was riding with the lady, and she said the lady was going, I don't mean to laugh, I do not mean to laugh. She said that the lady was going like about 55, 60 miles an hour. And it was in a residential area, 4 lanes, 2 going one way, 2 going the other way. Then, you know, you got the crowd, they coming to the intersection. She said, when I tell you, this heifer was doing about 50, going down a 35, the light was yellow. She said she was doing about 55 and that light was yellow. She told her, put your seatbelt on. She said she heard her put a seatbelt on. That lady slammed on the brakes at that yellow light. At the yellow light. The light hadn't even turned red yet. At the yellow light. And the car behind her popped her. And that's what she be doing. She'd do stuff like that. And I said, wait a minute now. I said, are you serious? She said, yep. She said she got a check because she sued, you know, because everybody in the car sued the lady insurance. So, you know, however they cut that down or whatever. But yeah, she sued. Yep. I said, well, did you sue her? Because you know you could have sued her since she was a passenger. She was like, I thought about it, but because they blood, she ain't sue her. I said, she would have sued your ass. And she would have, and I know she would have, because later on she was in somebody's car and they got into an accident. And it wasn't even the person who she was in the car with accident. Somebody hit them and it wasn't intentional. Like the lady didn't just slam on the brake. She sued the lady, she sued whoever hit the car, and she sued her friend who was driving the insurance. Yeah. So, yeah, she would have did it. And she did. All right, I'm done, y'all.
Hello. Okay. All right. So yeah, that was interesting. That was an interesting story. That's why I don't let nobody borrow my car, and that's why I don't really go. I really don't ride with people, and I don't let people borrow my car, because you don't never know what people got going on in their life. They got you in the car, them be done caused some type of accident, knowing you don't know nothing, so you just gonna go along with what you see. Don't even know in a whole nother world. You just a pawn in it. Don't know what's going on. Ain't nobody got time for that. So Eric Stolstrom, Stole Street, Y'all remember him. That's the dude that played on, well, let me read this because I know they're going to say his name. Oh, yeah, Modern Family. That's it. So Eric Stone Street was diagnosed with diabetes around the same time as he began filming his role as Cam on Modern Family. And at the time, he underplayed the seriousness of the condition. He admitted to feeling shame because of the diagnosis and hidden injectables and pills from his now fiancee Lindsay Schwarzinger until a few years into their 8-year relationship. Oh wow, he was hiding the fact that, dang, that how sad, right? It's diabetes. I wonder if he's a type 1 or type 2. You know, because one is you're born with it, and then another is you get it, you know, through just like I guess different ways. Like one could be like bad eating habits. Child, I'm gonna delete this video anyway. My producer got another story she want to tell y'all. Hold on.
Hello, microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. So I found out that somebody I know, child, got diagnosed with diabetes. Now, I'm not going to say it's the bad eating habit. I'm not going to say that it's the fried foods, the extra gravy this, the extra biscuits, the bad eating habits, the overweight, I'm not going to say it's any of that. But what I did say to her was, you should be ashamed of yourself because ain't no way that child should be a diabetic at her age. And I said, and she wasn't born with it. But we don't know. No, that's eating habits because, bitch, you just got diagnosed with being a diabetic a few years ago. Well, not a few years ago, but you got diagnosed with being a diabetic, but you wasn't born no diabetic. And excuse my French, but I was pretty upset about the situation because that's a baby. That's a child. She eats what you provide for her because she has no other way of getting it. And you as the mother should at least make sure that this child eats healthy. Even if you want to throw your life away and eat and drink and do whatever you want, you should still make sure that this child is eating right. And this child should not be, i.e. 8 years old. She's not 8, but let's say she's 8 years old and damn near 120 pounds. Ridiculous. And you talking about, oh, well, maybe she was born with it. Maybe it was Maybelline, bitch. But no, the baby was not born with it. And you need to stop that shit. And then when she gonna say something like, they got some medication, I just hit the floor. And to be honest, because I don't think it's anything cute, funny, or entertaining about a child being diagnosed as a diabetic. And now y'all trying to put her on medication. And I said, try your best to do what you can to put in exercise or change their eating habits, because you know once they start on that medication, they on that medication. And like, it's just, no. Sometimes I just be want to just choke a bitch. I just be want to just choke a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect, but at the same time, I will sacrifice my feelings to do what's in the better good for someone else, right? So if my living situation isn't comfortable enough for me, and if I have a child, I can suck my pride up and let my child go somewhere else while I figure it out. If I don't know how to feed my child properly, then I have enough pride to suck it up, to reach out to someone and say, hey, I need help with figuring out the right ways to make sure that my child doesn't die at a young age, that my child doesn't have to be put on insulin for the rest of her life because I wanted to eat like mukbang every day and I invited her to come along. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I didn't know what else to say after that. We got off the phone. Not too long, but we got off the phone. Because we're not going to end the conversation on a bad note, because that's not what the conversation is about. You're not telling me this to go back and forth with me about it. But I do have the right to say something, because that's my little sugar tank. It's like you don't want to overstep your boundaries because that's not your child. But at the same time, I have the right to step in because that's my child. But at the same time, that's not my child. But if the child needs something, you don't have no problem with asking, or I volunteer. But it's still just you know what, if I hit the lottery, or if I make like a hell of a lot of money, then I am going to, it's a lot of things I will do with money. And philanthropy would be my main thing. I would do philanthropy work. So let's move on. So Eric said that, you know, he was very shameful of his diagnosis. But the actor then got on Majorna, which he has been taking since 2022. It's been a game changer, he says. Oh, wait a minute.
Hello.
Is it back? Oh.
All right. So the actor said that, you know, it's been a game changer. It has been incredible. It's changed my life, changed my approach to eating, changed my approach to exercise. He went on to say, here, these people have invented this incredible thing that clearly does its part. Now I need to contribute my part. So yeah, that's great that he took it and he likes it. Now, John Goodman, and y'all remember him from Roseanne. So John Goodman's weight loss journey began back in 2007, and he has been on a steady path since. The actor who first came to prominence in the late 80s, early 90s as Dan Connor on Roseanne. Everybody know Roseanne, Dan Connor. Y'all remember that episode when Jackie had came over there because Fisher had jumped on her and Roseanne was comforting her and Dan came in there and he was like, what's wrong with her? And Roseanne was like, Fisher beat the crap out of her. And then Dan, you could see he got all, I still get emotional to this day. I remember that scene. I remember that episode, because I think it was a 2-part. I remember that like if it was yesterday. It still bring a little tear to my eye, little squiggly line in my eye, you know. But he went over there, he left out that house and came back with that chicken and put his hand in that ice, and it just crushed my heart when Jackie came down there and she just was about to get at his ass because he went and jumped on Fish, and she just went over there and hugged him. Boy, that was a moment right there. Cause see, that's love right there. I don't care how much people talk about you. But that was goddamn love right there. He went over there and beat that man ass up. But anyway, but yeah, so he's lost. So John Goodman, Big Dan, he's lost 200 pounds thanks to a consistent, healthy diet and working out, you know, regularly. He said, in quote, I don't want to be an example to anybody when the weight comes thundering back on. When I say eating Crisco out of the can with a spoon and a side of sugar, he joked when speaking about what motivated him to stay the course. Okay. So the next person that came up, you know, Jim Graffin Grill? I don't think I put him on here. I don't even know how to say his man's name. What he done did? Was he in something? I don't know. He looked like he been in something, but maybe it's a weight loss child. I don't know who he is. Let's see here. So we got Jelly we talked about. I think, let me see here. I saw Fat Joe. And I know they were just saying that at Fat Joe's heaviest, he was at 470. Dang. And you know, Big Pun, yeah, matter of fact, Fat Joe said he was 470 pounds when he went to Big Pun's funeral, who died at 28 from a heart attack. He said that's when he knew he had to make a change. He said, I went to his funeral and I felt like Scrooge, like I seen me. That's sad, man. That's sad. He said, you got to lose weight, otherwise you out of here. That's sad. That's sad. So he said he been on Ozempic So he's been taking Ozempic, and he's lost about 250 pounds, which is great. Let's see here. Okay, so Kathy Bates is next. All right. So now we're moving on to Kathy Bates. So Academy Award-winning actress Kathy Bates reveals she lost 100 pounds over 6 years, but it was not all due to Ozempic. The actress first lost 80 pounds through sheer changes to her lifestyle and her diet. She then dropped another 20 pounds using Ozempic. There's been a lot of talk that I just was able to do this because of Ozempic, but I have to impress upon people out there that this was hard work for me, especially during the pandemic. It is very hard to say you've had enough. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Then, of course, Kelly Clarkson, she lost weight over the years. Adele, she quests for better mental health leading to her weight loss. Though the singer stressed that wasn't the end goal, she began working out as a way to manage her anxiety in 2018. And 3 years later, she has went down 100 pounds. In quote, she says, "It became my time. It became her time. I realized that when I was working out, I didn't have any anxiety. It was never about losing weight. I thought if I can make my body physically strong, I can feel that and see that. Then maybe one day I can make my emotions and my mind physically strong." Okay, Adele, I see you. Then we go to Miss Khloe Kardashian. So perhaps no other Kardashian sister has had to deal with more public criticism about her appearance than Khloe Kardashian. And the TV reality star has talked openly about how hurtful it's been, as well as what now motivates her to stay in shape. The third Kardashian sister reveals she dropped 40 pounds following her divorce from Lamar Odom, but has now turned her focus more on being healthy than obsessing over the number on the scale. When I was bigger, if they had Ozempic, I probably would have tried it because I tried any other thing. She said during an episode of The Kardashians, "I tried any fad weight loss trend except for the real thing that actually worked, and that's a lifestyle change. So I really want to encourage healthiness and not about the number on the scale. I just think people should be active. I don't really care what your size is. You should just be healthy and strong for yourself," which is true. Very, very true. Then you got Miss Rebel Wilson. I like Rebel. What was that? Singing, what was that sing-along? Choir music? Some shit, I don't know. Anyway, so Rebel Wilson, desire to become a mother was the catalyst for her weight loss journey. The actress visited her fertility doctor back in 2019, who revealed she'd have a much better chance of harvesting and freezing her eggs if she lost weight. He looked me up and down and said, "You better much better if you'll do much better if you were healthy." I was taken aback. I thought, "Oh my God, this man is so rude." He was right. I was carrying around a lot of excess weight. It's almost like I didn't think of my own needs. I thought of my future children's needs, but not even my own. She went on to lose 80 pounds and became and welcomed her daughter Rose Lynn in 2022. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations. Ain't that something? I just would have went on and adopted and kept my food. All right, let's see who else we got on here. Al Roker had lost some weight, but I think Al Roker went under that. Yeah, he went under that gastric bypass surgery in 2002. That was a big old thing they had when he did that. He ended up losing 300 and let me see here. He said, "Hard to believe it was 20 years ago. I wore these size 54 Levi jeans to my gastric bypass at 340 pounds, and here I am today." He said, "It's still a struggle, but I'm never going back. I have setbacks and struggle every day, but I never forget how far I've came." I would hate to be hungry my whole life. Like just struggling, knowing you want that sandwich or that steak. All you can do is smell it, maybe chew the fat and spit it out, get the juices off of it. I remember my friend and I, when we was going into the military, my dad and my stepmom, they had, like my family had threw me like a leg going away, and we had went to go grab something to eat. And my friend, she was already like borderline with her weight, and it wasn't because she was big, it was because her chest area, her titties were like super big. So she had to compensate, right? Because the military is so unfair for women to have like big boobs. And so she had to compensate for the big boobs. So like, let's say your weight is supposed to be no more than 120 pounds if you like 5'1". So let's say she's 5'1", but her body might be 110 pounds, but her titties might be 15 pounds. So she's 125 pounds. So now she got to lose 5 pounds in her body to compensate for her weight and her titties. So she had to go through that. So she really did well. And that night, or that day, we went to go, they took us out to eat. Like, people always want to take you out to eat, right? And so she was doing well, and I just looked over and I saw her chewing on something. I said, "What you got in your mouth?" And I went over there, and we was over there tussling. She was like, I just wanted to suck the ham. I wasn't gonna eat it. It was funny. I guess she had to be there. Anyway, so Jennifer Hudson, you know, she lost a lot of weight. You know, she was a proud, full-figure woman when she came on the scene on American Idol back in 2004. However, she decided to make some lifestyle changes, and she shredded, 80 pounds as a Weight Watchers spokeswoman between 2010 and 2014. She said, in quote, "I threw the pancakes across the room. I don't like the food intimidating me. If it's too much, I just get rid of it, but I make sure to watch what I put in my body, and I make sure I know what it is. It's all about portions for the most part. I just want to take care of myself in that way, being more consistent and more conscious. I don't work out a lot, but I do like to be active. Simple as that." Yeah, I get that. Like, I don't like to work out, but I don't mind being active. Then we move on to Shonda Rhimes. And I just want to say, money. Money is not the root to evil. Evil people are the root to evil. Right? Right. Okay, so Shonda Rhimes, 117-pound weight loss was also inspired by the desire to be around her daughter, for her daughters. While on the Ellen DeGeneres show back in 2015, the Shondaland pioneer opened up about an eye-opening moment that spawned her journey. "I got on an airplane. It was a first-class seat. You know, they're bigger, and I was like, this is going to be really comfortable. And I got in my seat. I took my shoes off. I took out my book, and I went to buckle my seatbelt, and it wouldn't buckle. And I thought to myself, well, something is wrong with the seatbelt. It was broken. It wasn't broken. It was me." She continued, It really was about the fact that I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, a 13-year-old, and I kind of wanted to be around for them, you know, in a healthy way. I'm super feminist, and I'm like, everybody should be whatever size they want to be. How dare anybody tell anybody anything? And then I thought, like, I'm going to fall over because I don't feel good. So it was really about that. So yeah, gotta get it together. Gotta be healthy. You know, Anthony Anderson had a major weight loss. You know, he lost around 47 pounds, so that's great on him. He was diagnosed with diabetes too. So yeah, that made him change up. Missy Elliott, she was diagnosed with Graves' disease in 2008, which is a thyroid condition which not only led to depression and anxiety, but a significant amount of weight loss as well. So yeah, she's lost a lot of weight. But Missy, she's a beautiful woman. You could just see it in her face. She's gorgeous. And then Monique. No one revealed in her curves. No one reveled in her curves more than Monique. But at one point, the comedian decided to begin taking better care of her health. The actress lost around 80 pounds, and in 2018, she celebrated weighing under 200 pounds for the first time in her adult life. In quote, she said, I said that I would share this journey with y'all, the weight loss and getting healthier. And today, when I got on the scale, since I was 17 years old, I've been over 200 pounds. Today was the first time in my adult life that I've been under 200 pounds. So I wanted to let y'all know it's possible. We can do it and we can get there. To this day, Monique continues to share motivational videos of herself hitting the gym, staying disciplined, and committing to her healthy journey, which is true. She posts her videos. She be on there posting. She do. She be posting. Let's see here what we got for Monique, child. Let's see what we got for Monique. Okay. So where we at with this here? So let me see. I think I went over everything. Did I really do all that in less than 2 hours? It ain't number 2 hours and 45 seconds. Okay. So let me see what this looks like real quick. So hold on. Let me see what this looks like. Nope. Let me see. Nope. Why don't it move? Nope. That don't move. Hold on. Okay, that didn't move that at all. Nope, it didn't move it at all. I thought it was gonna move it. It didn't. Not even a little bit. Not even once at all. Okay. So let's see. What else do I have that I can talk about for I got like another hour and 15 minutes. Some people said you gotta go live for 4 hours, 4 times out the month. That's not that bad. I can do that. That's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. Let me see here. Let me see what else they have in the universe while we all here that we could talk about. So let's see. So they were talking about Meghan Markle. So let me see if there's actually a video or not, or they just talking smack about the lady. I do not see the article. Let me find out they made them take that article down, because you know they don't be playing no games. They'll make sure that they take down anything that they feel is against them. It is Messy's. Wait, hold on. Okay, so oh, well, that's pretty what Bambi got on. Okay, that's kind of out there. I'm not sure if you guys watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I haven't watched that show in years. I'm talking about years. It's been years, just over it. So Love and Hip Hop Atlanta saw Bambi's ex, Rayface, blames gay bestie for a messy split up. So rapper Rayface, who is the ex-fiance of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reality star Bambi, has spoken out about their recent breakup, and he says it all went down to Bam's gay best friend. In a recent viral interview, Rayface claimed Bambi's gay best friend sent her a video of him having intercourse with another woman, and that he turned Bambi against him by using his ex-girlfriend. According to Rayface, the gay best friend started building the case against him. He did not name the bestie, but says that the unidentified man was kicked off Love and Hip Hop, and that he's using the drama to try to get back on the show. Elsewhere in the video, Rayface claimed that Bambi had been desperate to get him back after ending their engagement, and that she sent him several begging text messages, and that she even asked him to send her money. In response, Bambi fired back by leaking text messages showing Rayface begging her to take him back and also sending her money. He apologizes several times and says he wants to fix it, but he can't believe she is refusing to communicate with him. Well, isn't that just tacky and dreadful? Child, then she went on to actually post the messages where, let me see, he says, where do I send this bill for this emotional and mental damage you put me through? I love you, Bam. I can't get over you. Damn, I'm so sorry I fucked up with you, because you the closest I ever got to what I wanted and needed for me. Hey, I got some bread for you. You good? And then she responded, why you ain't send it yet? And then he responded, LOL, savage, cash, Bam, you know I don't do the account shit. You know what? I hate when don't play with me. Either send it or don't send it. But don't sit up and say you're going to send me something and then what you want me to ask you for it? What am I asking for? You said you're going to send it. I ain't got to ask you for nothing if you say you're going to send it. So as he begs for a chance, she makes it clear that she has moved on from him and she wants no part of the drama. After the text messages leaked, Ray Faye then posted pictures with Tommy Lee and claimed they are dating, a claim she quickly shot down. So let's see what Tommy Lee said. Florida.
Tommy Lee responds to rumors she interfered with Ray Face and Bambi's relationship.
That's so good. The point is, I mean, a lot of people, you're young, all they got young, when they was starting to make money. They didn't really have money because we was kids. Like, we was teens and this and that, everybody trying to figure life out. And, that's just what it was. That's what you was around. And I love, like, their drive and how we was maneuvering through life at a very, very, very young age. So, like, all this shit has been seen and done for me.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
It's definitely not what I would want for myself right now. Right now, it's a man, very bossy, very, very much, I got you. Let me help you figure this out and actually do it. No, just joking, okay? I don't want anybody to get any strange ideas. Bye. Hey, I don't know what everybody's on. Hello. But listen, you don't hear me, you know what I'm saying, say that shit, do that shit, then it ain't so. And another thing, like, all this, Tommy love a leftover, Tommy love, breaking up happy homes. First of all, bitch, I don't know. If he is, I don't want to be with him. I don't want to train him. I need you already ready when you come over here. So ain't nobody dating a bitch. And I'm not with the breaking up nobody's home. I don't play like that. I love, and I love, you get what I'm saying? Like, bonds, real bonds. So don't play games with me. Don't put me in your childish games, like get back games. I don't play like that. Y'all know me. I ain't dated nobody publicly. I ain't been in no real relationship since my ex. Y'all don't even know him. And before him, he's dead. So stop playing. Since my ex, and he would never kick it on no lame shit. He would never come on here and try to, like, you know what I'm saying, drag me for the attention of strangers. I don't like them kind. I don't like that at all. So, hey, stop adding me. Stop putting me in this bullshit. Stop. Because I don't want bad karma. And I don't want, you get what I'm saying? I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, nothing. But just stop playing with me, though. I got a lot of real life things going on. With my family, you know what I'm saying? I got to go to trial. I got real life things going on.
She stay in court. I will say that. She stay in court.
Man, why y'all be opening up y'all phone line? Just line. Like, what make you say, ooh, I'm about to just...
Yeah, well, she went ahead on and cleared that. And what did he say? Let's go and see what Ray Face said.
Did you cheat on Bambi?
No, I didn't cheat on Bambi. Now, once we broke up, yes, I started all type of. But
what happened between you and Bambi?
Man, we got into it over her gay partner.
Bambi's friend.
Her best friend. I have no problem with gay people. I have gay family members, all type of shit. I love them to death. And I feel like just because you gay, that don't give you a reason to be fake. You gay, still be solid, still be a real.
Like, what did you do?
Basically, what happened was he started, like, building a case on me. He started entertaining all these old girls that I used to date with.
Like,
he had a girl from 5 years ago send him videos of us Then he sending it to Bambi.
Oh.
Crying and shit.
Oh, no
Sister, I
girl
gotta
wanna
tell
see
you,
that, though.
I'm like, this is 5 years ago.
So he's the reason why y'all broke up.
Well, yeah, he got kicked off Love and Hip Hop. He did some crazy. His way of coming back was to try to come and expose Ray Face.
Did you get kicked off of Love and Hip Hop because of this?
It got real gangster, and they got scared.
Mhm.
She told them that my people and me had.
So
once
she lied on
did-
you?
Yeah, she lied on me. So once she did that, it caused a problem with Love and Hip Hop.
So this whole situation is about they claim you broke into her house and all that.
No,
What was that
no,
about?
yeah.
I saw that on
for sure.
Shade Room.
No. What happened with Bam is that after that shit happened, right? I had on jewelry, like I got a lot of jewelry. So my other jewelry was at her house. So after the next day, I'm here like, Bam, listen, I don't want to be with you no more, but I need my jewelry. Let me just come get my, and I'm gone.
Right.
And she ain't replying. So I got 100,000 in jewelry there. I need my. So I called the police. I said, listen, I got my things in this house.
Yeah,
I
and
need
they
to
should be
get
able to
it.
escort
I
you
need
to
an
get 'em,
escort.
right?
So the
Yeah.
police pulled up. They escorted me there. So when I went there, I knocked on the door. He like, you live here? I like, yeah. Nobody ain't answering the door though. He like, man, if you live here, you got mail here. I can't tell you how to get in.
So
this
they
house.
gave you permission to break in?
Yeah. I said, okay, so I can do what I want if I got mail. I know I got mail.
Yeah, I
in this-
think it's the law.
Yeah, so he
Right,
told me,
it is
yeah,
the law.
so while the police was outside, I went kick the garage door in. When I go in there, Bam in there, her friends in there, my jury in there, but everybody acting like nobody ain't there.
So you got it? You got your
I
thing?
got all my jury. So that's how that hit the Shade Room, bro, by me kicking in the door. Because I ain't go kicking no door because I was tripping on her.
Right.
I was just trying to get my I'm coming for mine.
Was Scrappy involved in this whole situation?
Oh, for sure.
Like, did
I
he give
just-
you any trouble with this, or?
Yeah, well, afterwards, I think after that shit happened and he seen I was a real and that, you know, what's going on, I don't think he wanted no problem. But before then, he kept speaking on me on YouTube. He never said my name, but he always referenced me. Oh, this, she with this new, oh, she think her new, and I didn't feel like that was cool. You feel me? So I was waiting to meet him in person.
But he ain't try to, like, fight you or pull up or nothing?
Hell no.
Okay.
I would have pulled up my damn self.
Would you get back with her?
Nah, I don't want to get back with her. If I wanted to fix it, it'll be fixed already.
You always talking about you don't want something like it's your choice. Women have a choice too.
I say that because she hit me up telling me to take her out to eat so we can fix it, and I declined. She told me to take her to Mexico a few days ago. I declined. She texted me asking me for some money today.
Okay, now, you know, we seen, well, I saw where he was trying to shoot her some money. I didn't see where she was trying to shoot, you know, she asked him for no money. I saw where he asked her for some money. But, you know, well, I guess if that's what we want to tell the people, and that's what we want to tell the people. Now, you know, Trump said he not helping Diddy in no kind of which way whatsoever. So that's really it on it. Now, if we go back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, they say Portia has a girlfriend. Now, after finalizing her tumultuous divorce from Simon Gabordia in June, Portia Williams is back on the dating scene and this time, was she ever off the dating scene? She's trying a whole new approach to love. During a panel at CultureCon, New York City on October 5th, the Housewives of Atlanta star revealed she's currently dating two people, a woman and a man. Details on the star's mystery man are unclear, but many believe her new female boo is a successful Atlanta-based barber named Patricia Sway McKinley. Now, Portia is already smitten by her new love interest. She said, he is nice and she is nice, but I really just wanted to make sure these were normal people, and what I talked about with my therapist the other day was I'm having a hard time opening up because they're not narcissists, and guess what narcissists do? They love to love bomb you. They do everything, they're perfect, they mirror you. The housewife also revealed that her new dates aren't relying on grandioso gestures or flattery to win her over. They're confident enough to challenge and question her instead of, which she finds quite refreshing. She says, in quote, they're not letting me walk over them. The mother of one continued, they aren't just doing whatever they need to do to get into the relationship. And so I'm not feeling safe enough to open up yet. Still, Portia sees a new chapter and stepped out of her comfort zone as a necessary to shift into her journey towards lasting love. She said, in quote, I realize if you want something different, you have to also be different. I have to soften up a bit, she added. So far, there's no word on who the mysterious man is, but our eyes are on the budding connection between Portia and Sway, and fans are eager to know more. See everything we know about Portia's alleged mystery woman. Let's see here. What do they have? Yeah, ain't really nothing special about the girl. I mean, she's alright. Um, According to reports, Sway turned down both a professional basketball career and a corporate job to launch her business, which now has 4 locations, which with more on the way. Okay. One thing you can never do is pull my card. I am everything that I say I am. Okay. We also did our own digging. In a recent Instagram video, Sway shared more about her journey to success. In 2008, she moved from Lansing, Michigan to Atlanta to chase her dream of becoming a professional barber. She got a license in 2013 and quickly rose to become a 6-figure master barber and stylist before purchasing her first 6-chair salon suite. Chairs were empty the first 6 months, she said. I started behind the chair grinding daily to grow my clientele. I opened the 6-chair salon barbershop. Chairs were empty the first 3 months. I opened my first salon suite location with 16 suites. To many horror stories to type, LOL. I fought to get it open. I made history becoming the first black-owned salon suite to gain franchisor status. And now I run the #1 online salon suite course in the world, helping thousands across the globe get their start in the industry right now. Imagine if I would have gave up when times got hard. None of us would exist. No salon, no suites, no franchise, no global program. Listen, legacy requires endurance. Keep going even though it's tough. That's where the breakthrough lives. Promise you got this. Okay, sweetie, okay. So yeah, I don't want to go all into her because I don't really care that much. So let's see what else we got here. What else is going on? Let me see here. I think this was did Deion Sanders go? Yeah, Deion Sanders has undergone yet another surgery, his 16th surgery over the course of the last 3 years. The University of Colorado Boulder football coach is hoping to get his ongoing medical problems in order once and for all. According to ESPN, Deion Sanders revealed to the public that he believes he was dealing with blood clots again during the press conference. The 50-year-old explained that he was hurting like crazy and he wasn't getting blood to his legs, so his legs were throbbing. Sanders was set to undergo a medical procedure on Tuesday, according to ESPN, with the hope of being back to practice the next day. Following the Buffalo's loss to TCU on Saturday night, the coach doubled down on his thoughts that he was dealing with blood clots again. The 2-time Super Bowl champ ended his press conference, or a news conference, with a medical update saying, I can't wait to get past this hurdle, adding that his issues are hereditary and have nothing to do with me working at the level I'm trying to compete at. Oh, Deion. Oh, Deion. U.S. Today later confirmed that the coach would be undergoing an aspiration thoracectomy for the left pollateral and tibial arteries, a surgery to remove clots from his left leg. This is the same leg where he previously underwent 2 toe amputations and partial removal of his calf. Sanders documented his surgery in a video uploaded to Well Off Media's YouTube channel, which showed footage of his rumored girlfriend, Karrueche Tran, right by his side once again. She can be seen tying the coach's medical gown and sitting down next to him as Sanders prepares for surgery. This appearance from Karrueche comes a few months after the pair first made headlines back in July, when footage showed Tran at Sanders' side when he underwent surgery to remove his bladder following a cancer diagnosis. In the time since, neither Tran nor Sanders has confirmed whether they are dating, but the actress has said that she's enjoying dating while not denying that she's taking a recent liking to football. Oh, that's just so much. That's a lot. You know, money doesn't save you from things that happen in life, right? That is just so sad. So let's see what else. Is there any good news out here in the world? Because let me see if they have any good news out here in the world. Let's see. I wish I could sing, because I would sing to y'all, but I can't sing. Let's see. Anything else really? I didn't think I would go through that so far. I think the fact that I came on here saying I would go 4 hours, I think that's probably why I'm not going to be able to make it. I should have just said I'm going to just try. I could try it again next week. It ain't no big thing. Anyway, I really did enjoy my time, and I am tired. And so I am going to go and shower and get ready for bed. And then I will come back and do this again tomorrow. And I will try for 4 hours. I made it to 3:04. Yeah, 3:04. It just made 3:05. So once again, I want to thank you. And until next time.